Good evening, everybody, and welcome to E3. Welcome to EGI 2's EGI 2 Stream 22, our road to E3GI 2's E3 2024 cover. Our road to the cover. The cover hasn't started yet, Allan.
Road to E3GI.
We're still on the road, is what I'm trying to say. It's part
E3.
3 of the road. So we've got we've got two more. Originally we had talked about having E3GI 2's E3 2024 coverage on the 12th, but we're actually going to be pushing it a week so we can have a couple really exciting special guests come in.
Robbie?
For that on the 19th.
Robbie.
June 19th will be E3GI 2 E3 2024 coverage on June 19th. Set your
Robbie.
What?
Who is that?
It's that is
This one.
Professional.
What's that?
What the hell is that?
Robbie? What is that?
That's it.
What's happening?
I don't know what's happening, but
Okay, whoa.
E3GI 2 isn't next week. We're going to start it on the 19th. June 19th is going to be our E3GI 2 E3 2024 coverage of E3 2024. And with us tonight, I'm so happy that he's here. It's such a wonder to have such a talent, such a beaming and bright and an intelligent young person with us. It's Wyatt Fair. Everybody say everybody give a warm EGI 2.
Hi, Wyatt.
E3GI EGI 2 Stream 22. Welcome to Wyatt Fair, everybody. Wyatt, how are you feeling? Where did you come from?
I live fairly close to the studio, so I drove on over in my 2018 Honda Fit.
2018 Honda.
2018 Honda
I've got a
Fit.
2013 Honda Fit.
Oh yeah. How many miles?
Oh, almost a hundo.
See, me too, but this because I got the car used, so it came with almost 80,000 miles.
Well, we also
and I see someone says sick whip, but before this I had a 2009 Nissan Cube, and that car was a real hunk of junk. So I'm happy. I leveled up a bit, which I'm happy about.
I'm excited at the possibility of upgrading at some point to a new car.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of car it's going to be, but
you like your Honda Fit?
It's going to be. I like the Honda Fit.
Yeah. I like them too.
Although I've been having some trouble with sciatica. And
what is that?
It's when your back nerves get pinched by a loose disc or something like that, and a nerve is pinched. That's on your lower back, and you can feel it not only in your lower back but also in your legs.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible pain all the time, except when I am sitting on a couch with a
playing
Robbie, it happened
and maybe
again.
playing some console video games, huh?
Robbie, it happened again.
Well, actually, I don't play.
What is that?
I play mostly on my Steam Deck these days.
Yeah.
It's still my go-to platform. And if I stream, then I'll play on the PC.
Right.
Hopefully, at some point, we'll be getting back into the game streams. But it's just been with the day job stuff. It's been just been difficult trying to keep everything organized. And we also
this is my job.
What's your job?
This.
We also have merch. New merch for sale. We've got the merch be in form of shirt. And then now we also have that. We have merch in form. We got merch in form of hat. And hat is
what is it? I can't see it.
What does that say?
It says I don't trust the mainstream video game news media. And then on the back, and you can't see this because I didn't download both images, but there's a little EGI 2 on the back, embroidered, great font, great color hat. Very happy about the hat.
A bit of a pot shot to Polygon, maybe, right? Or is that what the hat is? A bit of a pot shot to Polygon.com or IGN or
GameSpot,
and
Destructoid,
Game Informer.
What is the rock paper shotgun?
I don't know if rock. I guess rock paper.
GameSpot.
I always get rock paper.
Do we say
shotgun.
GameSpot or
GameSpot's on there? One Up.
Kotaku. Yeah.
What's the one that aggregates? What's the one that's like Rotten Tomatoes for games?
We used to be.
Famitsu.
Do you mind impressions on this show?
Anyway,
we used to be a real country. We had what was the
what
was the thing you were just talking about? The game.
Kotaku?
No, the one.
We had One Up.
We used to have One Up. We used to have Joystick. now we're stuck with indie coverage on Polygon. Very lame.
What is that?
Do you like
What was
Do you
that?
do you have impressions on here, or do you mind them? Or?
I do impressions.
I'm not an impressionist,
I can do impressions.
but he's one of the popular guys.
It would be something like, hello. No, something like,
Who's that?
Yeah.
Who's that?
What is it, Allan? What's a good impression to do?
What's a good impression? Sound off in the chat.
Sound off in the chat if we know a good impression. It would be like, hello. We used to be in a different country. Well, it's the same country, but we used to be slightly better.
Sound off in the chat what you want Allan or Robbie or Wyatt to do an impression of. An object or a person.
Don't do impressions, Robbie. Let Allan do impressions. Says EGI 2 Watcher. Allan, I'll have to agree. I'd like to see your stuff.
Okay.
Take it away, Allan.
Kirby. Solid,
they say Bill Clinton.
Solid Snake.
Kirby.
Solid Snake.
Solid Snake. A horse. I'll do a horse.
Maybe.
Okay.
That makes sense.
That's
so
a good one.
Here's my impression of a horse.
Sexy kid.
The next time you see me, I will not be Allan Resnick. I will be a horse.
It's gonna be a horse, Wyatt. Is it?
I'm excited.
Have you ever seen a horse before?
I've seen a horse. I've ridden a few. I rode a horse at the beach.
Ow! This horse hurts.
Hurt. He's a hurt horse. He's a hurt horse.
Ow! What happened? Ow!
I don't know. Just
Something happened to me.
Someone poked the horse.
Worm. Maybe he's got
Did the horse get poked? Is that what's happening?
prodded.
I think the horse got prodded. Yeah.
Prodded.
Can you
Poked
use
horse.
cattle?
What kind of
Cattle prod.
Yeah,
you not
cattle
kidding?
prod.
Do it on a
You can
horse?
use someone used the cattle prod on the horse, and that's why the horse was mad.
Oh,
Allan
that
or
is
Wyatt,
not good.
whichever of you, or
we have a
James,
Wyatt
you can
one?
also answer this question. Are herds of buffalo also considered cattle?
Is there a nice name for a herd of buffalo? Like
Come on, guys.
That's
Let's
what
get
I
a hype
wanna
train
know.
going,
I like
you
a-
guys.
I like
Let's
a-
get a
like
hype
a
train going,
pride
you
or
guys,
something
right
like
now.
that?
Come on in the chat. Get a
Like
hype
a-
train going, you guys.
Well, we're so
Hype
happy,
train.
We're so happy to hear your voice, to see your face.
I'm happy
such
to
a
be
wonderful.
Gift
You're
sub.
it's such an iconic kind of look that you have, Wyatt. You're a true blue. You're dyed in the wool.
Yeah.
Southern Californian.
Yes.
You are. I look at you and I see optimism. I see
That's nice.
pride. I see ambition.
Thank you.
Future prospects.
Thank you.
Ingenuity. All of the
Thank
things
you.
that we associate with the Southern California personality. Allan?
Thank you. That's.
Does anyone have any crushed ice?
Is that who's that?
Somebody, thank you for gifting a sub. I don't know what this is. What
Who
is
is
this?
What is that?
I was doing an impression of a bee. What is
Soda
going
fountain?
on the screen? That was my impression of a bee.
Like
Okay,
a
whoa,
soda
what is happening? Thank you.
Soda.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for-
Oh, a hype train. A hype train.
Oh,
It
hype
works.
train has started.
Thank you. Whatever you
Hype
did,
train,
whatever you
great.
did,
Thank you.
you made a hype train happen.
Do dank.
Woo!
Thank you so much.
Something happened. Hype train has begun. So
We're
you
doing
know what
it.
that means? We have to stop
Okay.
everything that we're doing right now
Okay.
to get into the middle of the story
Oh
time.
my God!
Story
Thank
time,
you
hype
so
train time.
much.
What the heck is
very-
that?
Oh,
very
wait.
Wonderful.
What the heck is
to
this?
I think it's
see all
related to the-
Is this real?
support that we're having.
It's related to that.
It could be a lot
Oh
of
my
fun
God!
if
Wow!
this
Thank you,
continues
Ambrose
to,
Crumb.
Dollar
so much
bills.
done.
Here,
the
I got it.
machine is angry.
Here, I got it.
So let's feed the machines.
I'm
The
gonna
machine
raise
doesn't
it up.
Doesn't bite back. We
Don't-
don't
no,
want
no,
we
that's
don't
too
want a
much.
biting machine. We don't want to feed. We want to feed machines.
Okay.
Wyatt.
Whoa. Right.
And
Yeah.
As somebody who lives that Southern California lifestyle, I'm sure
Oh.
you can relate to the idea of
Oh.
feeding your machine
Oh.
because
What
you
is happening on the show? What
Californians
is
are,
this?
are absolutely attached to your speed machines. You're always
Okay,
Car,
we've
like
already hit.
around
Wow.
boats?
Okay.
blasting down the highway.
Thank
like
you,
Right.
a bunch of
Wyatt.
road warriors.
Right.
Like
the
James Dean.
mad.
Well,
Oh,
can
yeah.
we get rid of this? What is
The
this?
sad end for that guy.
We already hit level 2 hype. That means
One of the
Robbie's gonna
saddest-
start telling a story. He's going to tell it for about 4 or 5 more minutes, and maybe the hype will continue. And I hope that big money goes away because it's freaking me out. So stop putting money in there, Robbie. You're gonna jam
I
it.
started thinking about the story the other day, Wyatt, because I was
Stop
thinking
putting
about.
money
I
in
was
here.
standing
Allan-
on the beach the other night.
Allan walked through.
I had
I
gone
can
to
walk.
the beach in the evening time with the family, and I was standing on the beach and I was looking at this great big island that we have off the coast of Los Angeles.
Catalina?
Catalina
Please
Island.
don't put the money back in there, Robbie.
The Catalina Island is, of course.
Thank you so, Robbie. Stop putting money in there. God
but,
damn it.
But it
Yeah,
what
it
the-
jams.
Well, I can't.
I think
No,
the
don't
machine
tap
is
it.
broken.
Oh, okay, just
Just
stop.
tap it a few times.
I
It'll
think-
be fine.
They don't even see
It
it.
reminds
So
me of
how-
all the different people that have lived on islands over the course of human
Oh,
history.
sure.
I'm gonna take the money for now.
The ambitious people left the mainland. They went off to the islands, and they started fairly utopian civilizations.
Right.
I thought that perhaps it would be. It's time. We've talked a lot about the Eurasian sort of Eurasian supercontinent, the steppe.
Thank you.
And now we're talking about the
Thank you.
islands, the
Right.
islands that surrounded the
Thank you.
perhaps the
Thank you.
panacea.
Oh, God, what does that
and all of
mean?
the
In
things
Eurasia?
all the things that come along with being in a panacea, or Pangea.
Pangea,
Pangea.
which is the
Robbie's
first,
making this
Which is
all
the
up.
first
which was
one.
the first big chunk. They had one big chunk, and then they said we gotta get this into smaller ones so everybody can have their own kind of personalities and things. Personalities are different by states these days, but back then it was.
Absolutely.
Imagine
I mean,
if you were all
imagine
from one land
little
land
island
mass.
versus like
but
the,
it's
all,
big.
the Pangea that's torn apart by war, by pestilence, by famine, and various types of striven, just riven apart by all the different conflicts that humans come up for one another.
Right.
Factionalism.
Yes, factions
Are there
like
characters in the story, or is this more like
So
broad
on
friends?
this island,
This was the story.
Let's try.
Yeah, he's doing
on
it-
the
he's
island,
telling a story.
It's more of
is
a theory.
Was a little
He's
boy,
world building.
or was a little boy.
Okay.
It's not a real story from your life. It's a story from the
named-
old times.
Just don't.
Sorry.
Because
Okay.
his name was Wonder. His name is a little boy named Wonder,
Uh-huh.
and we all obviously remember the movie where there was a child
Oh,
or a
yes.
man named Wonder. What was that?
He was
What
a
that?
kid.
He was a kid.
He was a boy.
It was a boy named Wonder. He was a great
Jacob.
guy.
Talking about powder.
Everyone by the end of the movie thought he was the best, but at the beginning of the movie they didn't think he was. They thought he was a lot of trouble. And so in the story on the island, Wonder is also a lot of trouble because he's one of those dirty boys, Allan. He's one of those filthy little rascals that
Oh,
goes
what?
around
Robbie,
town.
I have to interrupt you. I don't know
Hype
what this is.
train.
I don't know what this is, but we've hit level 3 hype train. That means the story is going to
Okay.
continue for another 3 or 5 more minutes. Thank you for Joe Botnick. I think Joe Botnick has emptied out his savings account to support the show. So thank you, Joe. Back to you, Robbie.
his
So
So
coffin?
Wonder's one of
Wonder.
those filthy
Coffers.
little
I
wonder what the
bastards
story's
that just
about.
runs around town poking horses and they didn't have horses on the
The
island.
horse got poked?
They didn't have it. Well, that was what reminded me
Ow.
of it.
Ow!
They didn't have horses, but they did
didn't
have
horses.
beasts
Thank you.
that they could ride.
Okay, that's back.
And
Uh-huh.
so sort of like you remember that Horizon game, Allan?
Horizon Zero
Forbidden
Dawn for
West?
Forbidden West. Get that out of here, please.
Sort of like that. So that's what they had on
Wasn't
the
the-
island.
Wasn't there were horses in that, or were there dinosaurs?
Well,
right?
They were robots.
They were kind of
robot dinosaurs, kind
well,
of.
here's
It's
a
all
robot.
of it, right?
Well, what is a robot but a person?
Old
that,
dinosaur.
That person that hasn't got its that hasn't evolved to the point where it has skin.
Right. Yes.
Which I think is the common.
Can we
parlance.
make the
That was
dollar
the
go away?
was it a satirical game? I never played those games. Were they satirical at
Well,
all?
this
Or?
isn't a game. This is a story. This is the hype train.
Well, you
story.
referenced the game though.
It is-
Horizon.
Well, that's because
You
I
have
wanted
4 more
to
minutes to
understand
tell
what
the
they
story. You talk about Wonder. Get
Sorry,
that
I don't want
goddamn
to
dollar out of here,
distract from the
please.
story.
run around the town, poking these things, driving them into the wasteland. Well, they all lived. There was on the island. There was like a very nice
God.
forest, but then there was also
Scares
a
me every
terrible
time.
wasteland
God damn
with,
it.
where
Get that
the
money
sort of a blasted heath type
Stop.
of situation, where there would be
gonna
things
refill
would
the
run
gun.
off into the wasteland, fall over and die, and all sorts of little critters would come out from their caves and little holes, and they would eat the corpses of
What?
these beasts or even people that might go out into the wasteland, because sometimes you get high and you do things unexpectedly.
Who? You got
The
high?
people in the village where Wonder lives on the island. So half of the island is this nice place, this nice village, very bucolic, very mostly kind people, except for this little boy named Wonder, who's just a terrible, terrible bit of trouble.
What?
And on the other half of the island is a wasteland of that something that you might see after a few bombs have gone off, and we all know that because we
Wasteland, bombs, Fallout, Fallout
exactly.
4,
Oh, wait, or-
Fallout 76.
New Vegas
New Vegas.
we can't- we
and
can't-
the Wasteland
We
games
can
too.
only assume, because of the ruins that have been left for us to excavate, that before the current epoch that we are in, that there were
Epoch.
previous civilizations
Epoch.
and civilizations before that, and civilizations before that, and we don't know what dropped those bombs.
2 minutes and 30-second warning. You were at 19% hype. We're not getting to 100% hype. So, Robbie, this is your chance to finish the story that just
We
got
could.
started. Something about A little boy named Wonder and the Fallout game.
Can I donate the
little
hype?
boy named Wonder.
Can I donate hype?
As he grew older, he became more and more violent, and he started doing things to people. He would crawl into people's houses at night, and he would cut them very slightly, and they would wake up with blood on their sheets, and they would think, what the hell happened? Did one of those big ass bugs come in here and bite me in the middle of the night? But it was
Thank you. Thank you for the $1.
When did? Is there a timer when the money goes off? Because it's scaring me. I don't know if your goal is to scare your guests, but the money comes out at such a surprising time. It's a jump scare, like maybe from maybe Silent Hill or something.
So he would crawl into people's houses at night with his little knife.
Can we stop?
Or
What is
Resident.
Make a little cut, and that would cause all sorts of.
Robbie, you hit. Where
Next
am I?
hype. We got to
You hit
keep
the
going
next
with the
level of
story.
hype. What the hell is that?
The
You hit-
Resident.
Oh my God! You
Resident,
get that thing out of here. You hit the next level of hype. The story is going to continue for another 4 or 5 more minutes. Please start making it sexual.
Well, as he got older, of course, he started to go through all the things that little boys go to, little boys and little girls, and whoever else goes through at that particular age, where you start exploring different parts of your body.
What part?
And of course, in this particular story, because I want to point out that we're not going to be crossing any red lines here, because people in this particular community didn't hit puberty until they were 25 or 26. So pretty full, well-developed adults. When did I hit degrees of autonomy that were able to make very complicated decisions for themselves.
Robbie, when did I have puberty?
Please raise the volume on Robbie's mic, says EGI2 Watcher. I think my mic actually fell.
Oh, jeez.
So,
do I need to raise it?
No, the little nub thing fell out. So Wonder one day is in the middle. He wakes up this very, very kind couple that in the middle of the night he's crawled into their house to cut them on their arms and legs, as he's been doing. The cuts have been happening more and more frequently, where he's just making deeper cuts. He's making more cuts. There's a lot more blood involved. People are waking up very distressed. They know it's him. But because it is such a small community and they rely so much on each individual person being involved in the upkeep of the village, whether you're talking about protection from the weird creatures of the wasteland, or if you're talking about just siring more people, because you need more people.
No, stop putting money in.
I'm not putting any money into it. The money's coming out of it. That's the problem.
Well, it's not coming out because you jammed it.
This couple wakes up, and a good 5 or 6 years older than him, so already through puberty, so 32, 33 years old. He's 26, 27. He's gone through puberty, but he's so unpopular that nobody wants to take him on as an intimate partner. Allan,
if you're unpopular, people won't have sex with you. Whoa.
And so, this couple, they were quite enamored with. They enjoyed one thing about him, and that was they saw in Wonder an ambition that we don't see in young people anymore. I think these days, especially young people that are 10 years older than normal people at what they are when they go through puberty.
10 years older than normal.
And so they said, you're such an interesting person. You're obviously a lot of trouble for everyone in town, but you're also you're doing things differently, and that's
2 minute warning. 2 minute warning. If you're just tuning in, this is just par for the course.
Come
it's always
over
like this.
and spend. So we're not going to go back to bed because you cut us up a lot. I mean, we're just very uncomfortable. So we're just going to try and knock ourselves out by getting in, just having a very active encounter here right now, and you can stay and you can watch, or you can engage in it fully.
They're doing sort of cutting blood play.
Well, you've had cuts get infected before, so their cuts were horribly infected, Allan.
This is one of the craziest stories he's ever told.
Been going for weeks or perhaps even months. He's been going around cutting people, and they didn't have Neosporin or hydrogen peroxide back then. They didn't have Bactine.
Bactine?
So they're going around with these festering wounds. A lot of people are getting sick. This couple is just very itchy, and they finally got to the point where they could fall asleep. And then then Wonder crawls into the room, cuts them up a little bit more.
1 minute warning.
So Wonder decides, I'll throw caution to the wind. I'll throw in my hat with this very very open and generous couple, and we're gonna have ourselves.
Robbie, you did it. Okay, what is that? Robbie, you did it. This community just loves the hell out of you, Robbie. They're giving you so much money. I don't know what that was. We've hit level. What level are we on?
We're on level 4. Level 4 has been complete.
Moving on to level 5. Robbie's going to continue this sort of cutting sex story. Wow. This blood sex
5 minutes
story for another 5 or 4 more minutes. So Wyatt,
and I just really want to point out that in this village,
I wasn't supposed to talk.
You can talk, but you shouldn't.
Okay.
I just want to point out that everyone in this involved
you can talk, but Robbie won't stop talking.
Except for all the
yeah, that's fine with me.
Everyone involved in everything that is about to happen is is full and open consent. There is a great deal of respect that's being passed around. The only thing that people didn't consent to is being cut up by Wonder, which is not something. Really got to point out that we don't condone crawling into people's houses at night and with a little knife and just slicing up your neighbors and friends.
But the couple liked it. They were turned on by it.
Well, it had just become part of the fabric of their community. So they didn't really have any other choice.
It's like when I go to sleep, I hear a train, like I hear the horn of the train.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll hear like cars go by.
Exactly.
So it's like that.
Exactly. So they would hear sort of, they didn't have, windows so you open and close. And then maybe it was wax paper, so they'd hear the paper kind of get pulled back.
It's not going to stop.
And then they would be, Wonder's here with this little knife. He's going to slice us up.
Right. So they don't even bat an eye. They just keep going.
So
it was
the man starts.
It was part of the fabric.
And the man does something that Wonder has never seen, never experienced before in his life, which is just enveloping him.
You're at 0% hype.
Just a full. I just want to. You gotta get the wording right here because there was something magical because these two people weren't just interested and wild adults. They were in fact magic people, magicians. This was the town's magic people. You know what I mean, Allan?
They're magicians.
Yeah, so
we're at 2% hype. What is that?
They're casting spells. What I'm trying to say is that the man in the couple
not very smart game
is casting a spell with his body. You know what I mean? Like the whole. You ever get that long tube that you walk through to get on an airplane?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
That happens.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, Wonder's on the airplane.
2 minute warning. 2% hype. 2%. You're not going to finish, so you have 2 minutes to finish the story. Go through the tube.
He's flying. He's flying, Allan and Wyatt.
Oh, better be quiet at this point.
They're up in the air.
Thank you, Jovial
They're
Jellyfish.
Soaring.
Okay, what is that? Jovial
and
Jellyfish.
The airplane is just hot as hell.
Can you be more explicit?
Well, I don't because
we're at 5%.
Because
we're at 5% hype.
You can't imagine how hot it is in that airplane. It's not on the tarmac. It's there's all the pressure has gone out of the room. You know what I mean? It's just people communicating and casting spells physically. You know what I mean, Allan?
I think so.
Wyatt?
Physical cast a spell like a punch.
And right when the plane seems like it's touching the roof of the world. The lady comes in. And she's got 4 arms. I forgot to say that.
Yes.
So, you and I have 2 arms, Wyatt and Allan.
Yes.
But imagine what you can do with 4. Imagine if you had 2 arms.
45 seconds.
2 arms is what you need to take care of your partner.
You're not going to do it.
If you're in a monogamous relationship.
38 seconds.
And 4 arms and by that same maths, 4 arms is good for 2 partners. Do you hear what I'm saying?
25 seconds. You're at 5% hype. You're not going to finish the story.
I'm talking about the front stuff.
20 seconds.
And on the opposite side too. Everyone's covered.
15. Wait.
No.
Hype train.
Hype train success.
Okay, so I'd ended a little earlier than I thought.
Huh. Such strong hype train complete level 5.
Well, people are always asking me, Wyatt, why you guys don't do news headlines?
12 subs, 1,000.
Not
And
bad.
I have to agree. So on this EGI 2, we're doing something a little differently tonight. We're going to be doing EGI 2. We're going to be doing headlines straight from the news. We're bringing in the news from the headline. We're bringing in headlines from the news, from the video game news, onto EGI 2. Alan, we've never done this before. How are you feeling about this?
This is fun. This is like the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. They used to do headlines.
So we're doing the headlines. I can't find the little microphone cover, but we're doing the headlines. It's the headlines. Pop. Can we get? It's the headlines.
Is
Any
that the
minute
segment?
now we'll be seeing it's the headlines.
All right.
So it's just regular
Some real
news.
gaming
It's headline
news.
news. It's headline. It's the headlines. And starting right now with the first headline of the evening is no rest for the wicked.
Sorry,
It's the headlines.
What is
This is not
biggest
fitting.
update? Yeah.
No rest for the wicked.
Just attach it.
Get that. No rest for the wicked gets to its biggest update yet, including improved performance,
Just put it on your shirt.
respecs, and lots more.
Okay.
Alan,
Not
Put the
bad.
mic-
thoughts?
Put your mic right on your shirt, like
Don't-
normal.
Not
You don't need
bad.
the wind guard. It's not windy in here.
All right.
What's a game without respecting?
Respecting.
Because you might end up midway through and going, I hate this crap.
Sound
Why
up-
the hell am I stuck with all this fire? Things. A game without respecs. I mean, that's like it's like a movie with no words.
Respecs.
Because I don't like those silent
What is it
movies. I
again?
like the
No
word.
rest
I like
for
the
wicked
words.
Gets its biggest update
That old
yet,
stuff is
including
crap.
improved performance, respecs, and lots more. Alan, what are people saying in the chat about the respecs?
Joe Botnick says modern games allowing. I can't see it.
All
Is
my
that
favorite things.
Respecting has made respecting has made it
Respects and
impossible
lots
for
more.
me to
Lots
make
more for
decisions in
No
my
Rest for the
everyday
Wicked.
life.
So
Huh.
I would say congratulations to No Rest for the Wicked for the big update. I hope all of the
Where was that?
improved
Oh,
performance
the game.
updates, respecs, and lots more. I hope that works out
Sound off.
because it sounds like that could be a big
growing.
boon for the No Rest for the Wicked community.
Sound
Alan?
off in the chat if Robbie is too loud or not loud enough.
Right, I forgot about all this chat.
Oh yeah. So okay,
'Cause
great.
that's-
Double I'm into that. Gaming news media is a bought and paid for circus. But sometimes updates because we don't have a big newsroom here, so we have to get the headlines from the news, but we can talk about the news in ways that the big guys can't because they're all bought and sold for by the companies.
Robbie, not loud enough.
How about now?
How about now?
Keep talking.
If people keep talking.
Was it better? Was it better when I
Robbie,
just had
don't-
the microphone like this?
I'm sure it was, but that's
Maybe.
not the point. I want you to put it on your shirt like a normal.
I want you to. We want you to be able to move around, Robbie.
I would like to
turned
be
it
able to
up.
move
You
around.
don't need to.
Because do you remember earlier I did kind of a muscle man character, and if I had a mic in my,
Well,
I
they're
do have a
saying
mic.
that
I do have a mic in my
I
hand.
need to be louder. But
I
How
turned
did
it
I do
up.
that? I guess I put the
Robbie,
mic.
I turned it up.
Okay, you
There's
turned it
settings,
up. Great.
So you don't need to hold it.
Pierogi University says, "Are you guys still looking for sponsors?" I don't know. I don't know. Have a good answer for that. But
I was
Yes.
a dexterity build and I respec to a strength build, and that's why I got my big muscles.
and that's the kind of coverage
I
you
did that
can
without the
expect
mic,
from
so I guess
E3GI
they probably didn't
2's
hear that.
E3
They probably were just
2024
guessing.
coverage.
Do you think they could hear? Whatever.
Next up on the EGI 2 headlines.
It's the next headline.
It's the next headline. Hunt Showdown new gen console update arrives in August. This is from Game Informer, rendering last gen versions unplayable. Alan, what are people saying about Hunt Showdown?
Wyatt sounds like a real gamer, Mossy Lump.
I mean, I would say if you're still on the last gen version of Hunt Showdown, this must be a pretty big blow.
Terrible.
Can you read it
This
again?
is terrible news for anyone who's on the last
Can we
gen.
see the headline again? Because I don't think
It was upsetting. I think we got rid of it so much it was scary.
New gen console update arrives in August, rendering last gen versions
no.
unplayable. Wyatt, your thoughts?
This is awful for anyone who's been in the mines playing Hunt Showdown. You know, grinding or whatever they do. They are lost. This is terrible.
This is the kind of coverage.
This is the worst news I've ever heard.
You can't get this coverage anywhere
Oh
else.
my
of
God.
The Hunt Showdown new gen up.
The community
Is it also an update? Can
It's
we
a
see it again? Alan?
When you say you can't get this coverage anywhere else, where did you get the headline?
Well, you have to get the headlines from the big boys, but they can't. But they
can't
go,
comment on
what
it.
we do on EGI 2 is we go past the headlines.
But what? But you don't trust that? You don't trust them?
Well,
They're
the
not
update,
talking
the
about
update's
it.
coming out. Whether or not the hacks at these outlets
Have an
Did you
opinion.
credit the source for the headline?
Yeah, it says Game Informer on the top of the little thing they made.
Right.
What is?
Well,
And the previous one was from.
can I
What was the previous one from?
Hunt Show here?
Destructoid.
Here's one thing that sort of a silver lining, if you will. It's not arriving until August, so anybody in the Hunt Showdown community, they can really rip it up for the next. Who is playing an old jet? They can really rip it up for the next couple months.
Absolutely.
Really have
take
some
them to
fun
the mat.
and
take them to task.
and
Don't let these scoundrels
Right.
get you down.
Right, there's still time to fight back,
If
perhaps.
you're playing Hunt Showdown on a last gen console, unplug that thing from the internet and don't download any more updates. No more updates, Alan.
No more.
Would you like to update? What is that?
Ah,
Did it
So,
talk?
what I want to know, what I want to know
It's
is this
What is that?
is this that third person shooter game that's got, based around boss battles, Alan?
I don't know.
Hunt Showdown?
I don't know anything about Hunt Showdown. This is the first time I've heard of Hunt Showdown. I don't know. I don't know
Do you
jack
know it?
shit about it.
I don't know it. I wish this community was more vocal, because then maybe this stuff would change. You know, it could change.
Perhaps I think if we if people band together and if
Yes.
they improve themselves and
Yes.
they band together as a community in the same way that the people on the island had
I was
banded
about to
together.
say.
If you think about it, Wonder is like the developers of Hunt Showdown. He's going around town updating people's last gen consoles, rendering their versions of Hunt Showdown unplayable. And we are the couple that's telling him.
You and I?
I guess the whole of the EGI2 family is the couple, and we're inviting Hunt Showdown into the bed,
You and I are the couple.
and we're all gonna take flight together. And then the woman comes in.
Am I
with all
that
four of her
Wyatt?
arms?
Am I the kid or the older woman? Am I the Wonder Kid, or what do you think of me
Oh,
as?
that
Or
Remnant
cousin
from
or
the Ashes is the one I'm thinking of.
Remnant?
Next up on the headlines.
Yeah,
I think that
yeah.
my cousin, or my sort of my fake cousin, he worked on Remnant, Remnant 2.
What?
I know
Halo Infinite.
I know someone who worked
finally
on
adds
Weren't you talking about Remnant?
Remnant from the Ashes.
Is that different than Remnant 2?
Yes, because
Is
the
older?
Remnant 2 is the second one.
But it's the same series.
Halo Infinite.
I think he worked on both of them, but Remnant.
Who?
His cousin.
Well, no, sorry, it's
Wait.
a fake cousin. Do you know how you have a?
His fake
I
cousin.
have. You know,
Alan,
you ever
right?
refer
You
to
gotta pay
aunts
attention.
and uncle?
Things are moving
It's like this is
fast.
my
Now that
uncle,
we
but
are-
it's
now
not.
that we're stretching
not
our
your real uncle.
EGI2 news bona fides. Things are getting things are going to get crazy around here, Alan, and you need
Family
to be
friend
prepared.
cousin. That's
Wyatt
right.
has a fake cousin.
No, family friend cousin. Someone said it. Danny Laundry said it right there. Perfect.
Family friend
A
cousin.
family friend cousin. It's your kind of family friend. You refer to them as.
friend.
That's my uncle Kevin. You know, in this
What-
case, he
That
has
is
a
my friend
son,
Kevin.
Kyle. He
Okay.
worked on Remnant 1 and Remnant 2, but he
Okay.
did more work on Remnant 2.
When you're here, you're
Right.
family.
Hey Wyatt. Wyatt.
Yes, Alan.
Would your friend cousin come on the show?
Yeah. Well, he would have to beam in from the East Coast, the South. But he could. Yeah, he could beam it. He could call in.
You're from Southern California. Do you call people bro all the time?
Maybe as like a joke. I wouldn't say, hey bro, how's it going? Or like I might go, "What up,
I wouldn't
bro?" Is kind of funny.
Hey, bro.
I wouldn't say that.
Hey, bro.
I wouldn't say it like that. No,
Hey,
no.
Allan. Hey, bro.
What
Hey,
up?
Allan.
I might say something like, "What
Hey.
up, bro?" and maybe do that to probably
What's up,
not to you guys,
Allan?
but maybe to somebody.
Hey, bro. What's up?
I wouldn't do it like that. I wouldn't.
Hey,
do,
Allan.
I wouldn't do it like
You look sick.
that.
Thanks.
Maybe
I would do that.
Thank you.
that'd be cool.
If I was from Southern California, I would do that all the time.
But
Hey, when you're here, you're family.
yes. And
Next
and
up on the
love
headlines,
that. I love that.
we've got
Headline
Big
news.
Halo Infinite News.
Robbie,
Did
Big
you hear
Halo-
Robbie,
Robbie said news.
Robbie, are you serious?
Big
Can they
Halo
show that
Infinite
stuff?
News.
Big Halo Infinite News. I'd like to see.
Halo
I'd actually like to
Infinite-
see that.
See the headline: Halo Infinite finally adds a great feature from MCC. Now, when I first read this headline,
You said news.
I thought to myself,
When you first read
MCC, Marvel Universe,
MCC MCU.
Oh,
Marvel Cinematic.
the Marvel Collective Consciousness.
Yeah, Marvel.
perhaps.
I would say because
Now
that's
that
the
would be a
acronym
little
we
more
got.
interesting.
So I got very excited that the Halo Infinite would have these.
Low Vibe 75
Perhaps he's-
says Rule 34, which is a naked thing. EGI 2 Watcher says breaking nudes. So everyone's having fun with this.
It was, and it's funny when someone messes up a bit, but you find it actually can be surprisingly
But Allan,
funny.
you're the EGI2 special correspondent on the street. What are people saying about the Halo Infinite MCC news?
MCC is the single game I play. MCC is a single game I play. Not very smart. 133 said that.
Funny.
Huh.
So this could be big because obviously, if people if people are talking about it in the chat on the street, if Allan is hearing the pulse of the people,
Did Allan collect the headlines, or did you?
I collected the headlines from the news sources, from the big boys.
Right.
And I take them and I give them their credit because they put them up there. They're legible. They're in the public sphere, but I don't trust them to give us the analysis of the Halo Infinite MCC. What is it?
MCC.
Can I see that? Can we see the headline
I think
again?
it's the Halo Infinite.
MCC.
It's a great feature from.
Great
MCC.
feature from the MCC.
Marvel Cinematic.
No,
And you can see,
Comics?
and you can see the depths of
I think
the depths to which these people will go, because right next to that headline is a headline
who are these
something about
people?
financing,
Who are
and
these
I don't know who are these
Who is
people.
this article from?
Hey, Robbie, what does your hat say again?
It says I don't trust the mainstream video game news
Right.
media.
Which was kind of a pot shot. If
Exactly, and it's
on
because of stuff like this.
Polygon.
Let's throw up the
or
headline again
Game
so people can see
Informer,
it.
or
Halo
let's see.
Infinite.
Who's it? Oh, that's
Finally
GameSpot,
adds
right? I can
three.
see the little
GameSpot.
G.
Oh yeah.
And we all remember the big
Yeah.
to do that erupted around Jeff Gerstmann's
Who?
review of Kane and Lynch on GameSpot.
Which one is that?
He's the guy who started Giant Bomb.
Kane
Oh.
and Lynch?
Yeah.
Kane and Lynch
Kane and Lynch.
on the
Soul-
PlayStation 2 and
Soul
Xbox.
Reaver?
That sounds like a character from a
PlayStation 3
game.
and
Kane
Xbox
and Lynch.
360.
I mean, that's such a
Legacy,
strange
Legacy
name.
of Kane?
Legacy of Kane, Soul Reaver.
Kane and Lynch. It sounds. That's a real person or a game character?
Kane and Lynch was a third-person shooter.
Kane and
Oh,
Lynch.
it is. Okay. Kane
called-
and Lynch. Two
Kane and
names.
Lynch,
think
and there was
it's
Kane and
called
Lynch
Game
2
and
Dog Days,
The
which
Legacy of
received
Kane
similar, I would
game
say,
character.
similar 6
Okay.
to 7 out of 10 reviews.
Okay.
Solid action games, but nothing particularly
Okay.
notable to write home about. And Jeff
Okay.
Gerstmann wrote that in his piece, in his review of Kane and Lynch, and they threw the hatchet at him. They chopped him up, and then he because they said change the review for our advertisers, IDOS and IO Interactive.
Is this what Gamergate was?
And he said, I will not do it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave.
What
And I'm
is
gonna
that?
start my own company. It's called Giant Bomb because I'm gonna blast you people
Thank
to,
you.
to smithereens.
Thank you for the
And that's the story. So next,
And it makes sense that I thought it was a video game character because of that interesting name, Kane and Lynch. I mean,
Kane
it's
and
really it's
next up.
it's
this,
stranger
this
than
is,
fiction.
And this
that
is from
name.
the opinion pages in. This one is. I can't read that one. Is it IGN? Oh yeah, that's IGN. It's time for Sony to bring back Killzone and Resistance. Allan, thoughts?
This is different than when Jay Leno does headlines.
Well, Jay Leno takes the headlines and he just makes fun of the whole article, the whole plot of the story. And here we are just talking about the headlines.
Unpacking
We're unpacking the headlines.
Unpacking the headlines.
I get it.
Bring back Killzone and Resistance, Wyatt. What do you think?
I think bring them both. Yeah, bring them both back. It's been a long time since we've had both of them kind of operating at the same time, and so I think we need to bring back both Killzone and Resistance. Without them, we're not really even gaming.
Remember that Killzone trailer that they showed at E3?
Yes.
That was awesome.
And then they made Killzone 2, and it looked pretty good.
But it didn't look like the trailer.
Didn't look as good as the trailer.
Robbie,
well, this happens.
What did they call that?
This happens, right? The trailer looks magnificent, and then the game doesn't deliver. Do you ever talk about this on the show? I mean, there was all these trailers for games that come. I mean, these games come out. The trailers, they look unbelievable. They've been they look like almost like a movie or something, or really high def. And then the game comes out and it's a whole mess. Do you ever cover that on the show?
We don't really talk about Killzone.
We had Killzone. We had Killzone 2, Killzone 3, Killzone Mercenary, Killzone Guerrilla, Killzone, and then the PS4 Killzone, and then we haven't had Killzone since then.
To answer your question, no, we don't do interesting lists
The
that
Matrix.
people would like. Robbie does list games, but it's usually just the titles of games in no order.
Resistance, Fall of Man, Resistance 2, where you played as the same character from Resistance, but you died at the end. Then you had Resistance 3, or a whole new character.
Robbie knows
then
all
you
kinds
had
of stuff.
Resistance Retribution
Resistance
and Resistance Mercenary. Was there another Mercenary one? One was a third-person shooter. That was a pretty interesting deviation from the whole first-person shooter. You still had the mixture of guns.
The what of guns?
Kind of a variety of wacky weapons. Similar, because it's the people that made the Ratchet and Clank game.
Oh, yes, the chicken gun. I mean, that was always making me laugh back when I was playing that.
I think we're all in agreement. Sony should bring back Killzone and Resistance.
Yes.
Maybe throw them together.
Bring it back.
Give it give us a mishmash. Maybe some sort of Mario Maker style of game where you just throw different elements from the Resistance and the Killzone games and build your own levels. And for your friends.
Robbie, for E3GI, is that what it's called?
FPS Note says Kill Distance.
EGI 2, 3GI.
I got to agree.
You should show a trailer for a game that's really a good trailer. It's like people will get excited and hyped about, and then the game doesn't need to look like it.
Well, maybe we'll show the 2000. Was that 2006?
Who's showing? Robbie's making a game
trailer?
That he's showing a
Robbie's
trailer. Robbie is a game.
Robbie's putting up.
What's Robbie's game about?
Robbie made up a game, but that's not what this is.
In his head or on the computer?
In his head. He doesn't know how to do computer. But they canceled E3, so Robbie's gonna do E3GI.
Okay.
Trailer. Ryan Cinematic Gush Videos.
I'm excited to.
It's the arts reality. What? This is too many words. They pinned it all. It's pinned and it's squished in a weird way. But thank you for pinning it. Whoever did it.
Robbie's
fantastic work. And let's bring back make your own Killzone Resistance mashup.
Yes.
Why not? Let's have it. Next on the it's the headlines is another this.
All right.
To know before you start Hades 2.
This is great.
9 things to know.
Now this is a great game.
So
already
9 things. I mean, it could be anything. Could be
to know before
you should know where your car's parked. It could be know that your wallet is
in your back pocket.
Maybe know that you've installed all of your cards on your phone.
Apple Wallet.
Yes, you don't have to worry about carrying your wallet around no more.
Well,
probably. I mean, that's something. Allan, what things do people know before they start Hades 2?
They should.
There's a lot.
What should they know? They should know the laws of the land. I think would be helpful. If people went around knowing the laws. They should know your Miranda rights. I don't know. I guess they should know they should probably know what system they own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So they would go maybe have a ledger open and just say, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this.
Do you need a ledger for? I mean, you might.
I've got ledger. Oh, I've got.
I can name them off the top of my head. Really, yeah. I mean, I have a few.
You can name your ledgers off the top of your head.
Oh no, sorry. I think you're talking about a ledger for your gaming consoles. How many of them you have?
Well, how many do you have?
Robbie has a spreadsheet.
No, I don't need a ledger. I have two or three. Or I mean, I can play on my cell phone. I guess I don't normally do that. I've played a couple games on my cell phone, but I don't normally do that.
I've tried to play cell phone games, like apart from a few years where I was really into Monument Valley and the Go games, like Hitman Go and Deus Ex Go and Tomb Raider Go.
Gone Girl.
Pokemon
Go.
Go.
No, Pokemon Go. Gone.
I haven't really, I haven't messed with it. Mostly I've been playing. Recently, I've been playing Blood.
Blood.
Yeah, the old build engine third-person shooter Blood, Allan.
There's a game called Blood.
It's a game called Blood.
Sounds
Came out
scary.
a couple years after Duke Nukem 3D. Uses the same engine as Duke Nukem 3D, and Night Dive remastered it recently. But they didn't have a console release, Wyatt.
Yeah. I mean, that's a total waste of a great IP, Blood, the Blood IP.
Blood. That's such a.
What are you gonna?
Blood's
Go
such a
ahead.
great game because you shoot the cultists with the flare gun,
Ah.
and they still come at you, but then the flare blows up, and then they catch fire, and they run around on fire.
And were you scared of the game when you were playing it, or
Terrified.
not so
Allan?
scared?
Blood. Just calling a game Blood is
It's-
such a simple, like, kind of lazy name. It's like if you called a game Gun.
That exists.
Double Plus Good Games. I also found out that Night Dive was acquired by Atari last year. It's true, and but they're still plugging away at releasing very quality remakes and remasters of 90s, early 2000s first-person shooters. Next up on It's the Headlines is
That's it for that one?
This,
Okay.
this one
Yeah, well, let's
is
move on.
Poppin' Tanks.
There's nothing to unpack here.
Hardcore
It's
gaming
as simple
101,
as it can get. It's
they're-
back.
It's back. It's
Poppin' Tanks is back.
The tanks are just popping off. They're going nuts, flipping around. I suspect
Poppin' Tanks.
the poppin' tanks are
Poppin'
just
tanks?
having a lot of fun.
Tanks.
Looks like a Robo Pit style kind of a game. Could be a lot of fun. If you're thinking about popping off with Poppin' Tanks, maybe Poppin' Tanks is the game for you.
Poppin' Tanks.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. What kind of
We didn't. One of the things people know before playing Hades 2, where your polling location is.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
where your
Nearest-
hospital.
yeah, nearest-
Nearest
Yeah.
hospital is a good one. You have
or nearest veterinarian if you have some
animal.
furry friends.
If
at
you live
home.
on a second or third floor, if you're a second, third floor apartment building, make sure that you know which window goes to the fire escape. And if you don't have a fire escape, you invest in one of those rope ladders.
Oh, yeah. Or
Allan's over there.
huh?
Allan's over
Do
there.
you want me to talk to Allan?
Just want you to know where
Allan's over there?
Allan's over there.
Allan's over there. Okay. Hello, Allan.
Hey.
Sure.
Next up on It's the Headlines.
Let's get to the next. Let's get to the next
headline
one.
is a very exciting headline. You can now play Fallout, the original Fallout, on the 3DS.
This is actually helpful.
This is great news for people who have a 3DS who have made it through the backlog and are now looking to destroy their 3DS by installing a bunch of weird freeware hacks on it. And what a great way to play a Fallout with a touch screen on the bottom screen, and you tap and you move around. I suspect maybe they've implemented controls with a D-pad. You see the headline?
Do I see it?
Allan, did you see the headline about Fallout on the
Allan's
3DS?
putting his shirt on.
I'm fixing my shirt. Where? I don't see anything.
There's a headline that says Fallout is now playable on the 3DS. So we might not have Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas on the Nintendo Switch, but we have the original Fallout on the 3DS. And I can only assume that if they've got Fallout on the 3DS working, that Fallout 2 can't be far behind. And if you got those two, those two, then perhaps the other ones will be after.
On the 3DS or on something else?
Next up on the It's the Headlines, I think this is our last headline of the evening. This is the big one. Okay, so this is why it's a big one. Wyatt, you have to understand that we had the CEO of Night Dive Studios on the show a couple months ago, and he and I really had at it because they had just released the trailer for the PO'd first-person shooter 3DO remake.
Okay.
First-person shooter of an obscure 3DO. It's a remaster of an obscure 3DO first-person shooter, and I held him down with the voice, with my eyes, and I held him down and I said, if you're working on PO'd for the 3DO, everyone everyone with with a lick of sense in their skull is gonna want to know where is Killing Time, and
Next.
he said just be patient, which was a admission
that
it was coming.
a
and
bit of
here
a
it
leak.
is.
A bit of a
It's
leak.
coming. They're gonna show a trailer for Killing Time, the Killing Time remake by Night Dive Studios on this upcoming.
Wait, so is this confirmed or is this a bit of a
This is a
hearsay
confirmation.
leak?
This is a soft confirmation.
Okay.
It was in the schedule for all these great trailers that they're going to put out for these, what looks like a boomer shooter and maybe a third-person mech assault style of game.
All right.
Robbie broke news.
I broke.
You
we broke the news.
broke news live here on EGI
and that
2.
is and that is the EGI 2. That's the EGI 2 model. That's the promise that we make as
a break.
As journalists, as
where's the headline
leaders
from?
of our community.
But who broke the news on the headline? Because it's not EG. It's not EGI
looked
2.
That was
Twitter was or
yeah,
X.
That was
Guerrilla
Collective.
So
X.
they broke it.
But I don't. Do we know that? Is that a reliable source? Because we know that GameSpot and I mean they can't say, they can't really speak to a lot of as we've said, sort of detail. But they are respectable news outlets. But do you know? Has this been verified? This Twitter tweet X account
Post, they call it.
Do you know?
Truth.
Truth?
Truth?
I think it's called a post.
I don't know what were you saying?
Oh, I just don't know if this was this verified news.
Well, we broke this story several months ago, so you
right. But is this what is this? Who tweeted this?
I don't want to say. I don't want anyone to forget that you heard Killing Time is made by EGI Studios, and you did hear it first on EGI 2.
Right.
Because it's the same thing that happened with Ghost Rider 2099.
Right.
Alan.
Is that a game?
It's the exact same thing. I predicted 2099 Marvel series.
How old were you when you made that?
13 years old, Alan. I was 13 years old. I predicted the X-Men, which was already probable, but I predicted Ghost Rider as well. And that one was not a shot in the dark. That was me reading the tea leaves and seeing what was out there that could have an impactful 2099 reimagining.
As a game or
the
movie? Or are you talking the movie Ghost Rider?
Instead of being a spirit, he's a robot.
In the game?
Instead of being the spirit of vengeance, he's the robot of high speed. He's the high speed chase robot.
Yes, and that does
Ghost Rider 2099.
When I hear the number 2099, it's good marketing really, because I really go, that's gonna be a robot or science fiction piece. It's not gonna be your old mom and pop cartoon. It's gonna be a little bit more modern.
And Alan, when
I hear those numbers, 2099 or 2040.
Wyatt, Alan, I want to remind both of you that I had talked about how I had wanted to emulate Killing Time for the 3DO by installing a 3DO emulator, but I never got around to it because these Night Dive kids are out there. They're doing wild stuff. Killing Time's going to come out.
When I was a kid, I used to do all these crazy things with my friends where we'd knock each other over, we'd run around, we'd fall down, we'd film it, we'd ding dong ditch and stuff. And I thought I invented Jackass. And I was mad that they were monetizing it because it was my idea to be weird.
That was the headlines, everybody. How are we feeling about the headlines? Feeling pretty good. Breaking news, brought to you in only the kind of a way that EGI 2 can bring you the news, talk to you about the news. Let's open up the phone lines and see what people are saying about these headlines. Wyatt, and while we're doing that, Wyatt, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What are you working on? What's coming out? What do you got in the what's in your garage?
I don't have a garage. I have I do have a backyard with a couple plants. My girlfriend has planted some vegetable she's growing radishes and strawberries are fruits, I guess, but she's growing those. And I think, did I say radishes?
Yeah, those
small
are
radishes in the backyard.
Fruits, Alan?
No. No, radishes are the vegetables and the strawberries are the fruits. And so that's growing in the backyard. So I don't have a garage. I have a basement where I keep my sorry, did I?
Back to you, Wyatt. Back to you, Allan, and back to you, Scott. It sounds like Scott.
Back to you, Allan.
I know Scott.
And back to you, Wyatt, and back to you, James. It is your old pal, friend of the show, friend of the chat. It's Scott from Pittsburgh.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Scott. You ever seen this much money before?
Back to you, Robbie. I don't know that I have seen that amount of money before. Although, actually, yes, I have seen that amount of money before. If we do have time for a quick story,
I'm taking this home.
I had a few friends that opened up a sneaker store / clothing store in Atlanta, in East Point. And I helped them build out that sneaker store, and as kind of like a little celebration, one of our friends who was actually the punter for the Pittsburgh Steelers took us to Magic City, where he and one of his friends treated us to the VIP section, where his friend got the biggest block of $1 bills I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say $10,000 in ones.
Wow.
And that was a sight to behold, Robbie.
Allan?
I would love to be in a room with $10,000.
I want to ask you something,
Back
Scott.
to
We're talking
you, Allan.
about
It was a sight to behold.
We're talking about the headlines, and the headline that pops out to me the most, and I think that you might be able to get your head around, is the 9 things you need to know before playing Hades.
Hades 2. I
2.
think.
Well,
Hades 2. Still in
And back to you, Robbie. I'm sure that is probably pertinent news that I would need in my life. But honestly, I was calling in. I was hoping I would like to hear more. And back to you, Allan. I think Allan would agree with me here. I would like to hear just a little bit more about those Halo Infinite nudes, if we could. And I was curious. Are we talking, or like, are these Halo Infinite nudes? Are they would they kind of compare to the hot tub nudes that we saw in the Dino Crisis special report, or are these like a whole different level type of nudes coming from Halo Infinite?
Halo Infinite.
Halo Infinite has a grappling hook.
I'm looking it up. Safe search is off.
Do you think you'll get in trouble if you look it up, Allan?
Halo Infinite is a Far Cry style Halo game, so that's pretty interesting. I guess that could be one thing want to know before playing Hades 2.
Yeah, right.
Well, and back to you, back to you, Wyatt. I'm not sure if you saw, but Allan did give us a special report on Dino Crisis with some wonderful hot tub nudes.
Allan did that?
It was Dino Crisis. I believe it was Dino Crisis 2.
Allan did that with some
Robbie,
nudes.
do you know this character from Halo?
It was Dino Crisis.
Allan, that's
And there was
Cortana.
nudity in the Dino Crisis, or was it dinosaur nudity or
Robbie was nude.
Robbie nudity? Oh, I thought you couldn't show that
Robbie
stuff.
hot tub nudity.
You can show hot tub stuff on
hot
Twitch.
tub.
It's very popular.
If you have a hot tub,
Yes.
you can pretty much do whatever you want on Twitch, and
Hammer,
everyone, millions of people are watching you.
Back to you, Robbie. I don't know much about Twitch, but I've come. The first thing I ever saw the first time I ever got Twitch was to watch EGI 2.
Wow, look at
first thing that ever
Oh,
popped up.
I couldn't. It looked like an optical illusion.
There is. See, Halo Infinite news. This is breaking news.
Found them.
Robbie, what? What's that about?
That looks like the little knife from.
That's the Mjolnir.
That's Wonder's little knife, is it not?
Suit of armor, the helmets that the Master Chief wears, and
This-
we know that he
is
wears
that-
them. He protects, his identity.
Well, what's the
He's
knife?
the everyman.
I think
is what we wanted. And
Master
he
Chief-
wasn't the smartest. He wasn't the strongest of his Spartan class. He was
But
the
what was the-
luckiest.
but what
That's
was the
why
knife?
Cortana chose him.
Cortana's incredible.
The Chosen One, kind of almost like Luke Skywalker. Or do you ever talk about?
Star Wars?
Yeah.
No.
What about
Games.
Well, we talked about
Knights
TIE
of the Old
Fighter
Republic
before.
or Knights of the Old Republic?
We talked about Knights of the
Maybe
Old
the big
Republic. I
twist?
think we've talked about TIE Fighter and X-Wing. Scott from Pittsburgh, your thoughts?
Well, back to you, Robbie. You know, I had a little bit of news. You know, well, just not so much news,
Wow.
but a few things
Shadows of
that
the
I
Empire.
wanted to talk to you. And one I wanted to say back to Allan. I wanted to congratulate Allan.
Back to you.
For everything that he's doing, and I wanted to let him know that today I'm making a promise, Allan,
to you.
that today it is already started. I've already got the ball rolling.
Okay.
That I'm trying to talk Erica into going to Philadelphia.
I don't know who that is.
To see one funny. Well, Erica would be my girlfriend that
congratulations.
dislikes the show.
Back to you.
Back to you, Scott. Back to you, Erica.
But I'm trying to talk Erica into going to Philadelphia to come see your one funny hour special.
Nice.
What?
Oh, Allan is doing a show.
Have you seen these, Robbie?
And Robbie, not back to you, Robbie. Not to leave you out. I do have a little bit of news that I think will excite you. I have started. It's not quite a spreadsheet yet, but it is a list that I will attempt to turn into a spreadsheet. That we've got season passes to the local amusement park here at Kennywood, and you inspired this. In dedication to you, I've started a list that so far we have been there twice.
Allan, don't you
we
dare
rode-
show that.
Oh,
Turn that
no.
screen around.
I won't do it either.
We've rode the turtle.
This is
once,
very nasty.
the racer once.
I wish Scott
Aero
could see.
360 once. The Jackrabbit once. The Noah's Ark
very
once,
nasty.
and the Phantom 5 times.
Give it back.
And my goal is so we paid about $290 for two
Very
passes,
nasty.
and my goal is to break it down for a dollar per ride.
What,
Oh my God.
Is
So that's could be one of the 9 things you need to know for playing Hades 2. Thank you for your call,
Off to
Scott from
Philadelphia.
Pittsburgh. Good luck with everything that you just described and everything that you
Back
just said.
to you all, and I love you, and you
Thanks,
have
Scott.
a wonderful evening.
Have
Back
a
to
wonderful
you.
evening to you as well.
Robbie,
We're
look.
having a great deal of.
Robbie, look.
Because apparently, Allan has discovered something.
they're
that
all
is
nasty. I
very-
don't. They're
these-
very
these
nasty.
These Halo new. I wish we could see these.
We're
these
not
Halo-
going to see.
these
We're
Halo
not pointing.
I think
we're
you would
not
be
gonna let
kicked
people-
off the.
Robbie, look.
There was something that they say that you got to take in the horror, or otherwise you'll be imagining worse things for the rest of your life. But I'm going to go
Look.
ahead and disagree with that.
Look over
Because-
here.
Would these be considered logs in the lake?
These these are not because that's a different type of that's a different tool in the toolbox. The bad toolbox. The toolbox that Dad says not to open. Don't open that toolbox.
Allan, wait.
Sounds like a gun. Don't open.
Always good to hear from you, Scott from
Don't open
Pittsburgh. We do have a special, keeping with a tradition that we started, Stream 21. We are going to be doing a
hell?
quiz, trivia quiz for
Oh,
Wyatt
okay.
Fair for his testing the limits of his video game knowledge against our own, against the question, the video game knowledge questionnaire that we have
I'm nervous. Did you
prepared for him.
did you write these questions, or are they taken from?
I wrote
news
these
sources.
questions myself.
From your
I
head?
thought along on heart. I looked at your picture for a long time, and I devised these questions
Okay.
specifically for someone with your kind of a mind.
Okay.
It's the quiz.
Okay.
First question on It's the Quiz
Okay.
is
Whoa.
read the following.
You want me to read it? That's not much of a okay. Reading comprehension quiz.
This is it.
Okay. Okay. So I read it. That's the quiz. Okay. All right. Oh well, it's going away. Once in the police station. Okay. Do you want to do it or should I?
I'll read it.
Okay,
aloud.
you go ahead.
Okay, you listen and I'll read it.
Okay.
Once in the police station, a guard will be standing there waiting for you. He will guide you to a room, so follow him. If you know where the room is, run there yourself because it's a lot faster. Wait in the room until he leaves, then exit the room, turn right, then go down the right hallway and left down the next to find the stairs on the right. Go up them and cut through the intel office, which is the first doorway on the right to the next hallway over. Then turn left and enter the evidence room, which is the only other door open in this hallway. Grab the pistol on the floor and holster it. Now walk outside the room and go against the wall in front of you, strafe right, and you should see McCormick with a fellow officer. If you strafe to the other end of the wall, McCormick and his buddy will turn around and walk the other way. And this is part of a walkthrough from GameFAQs.com. And the question for you, Wyatt, is which of these games is that walkthrough from?
Multiple choice. That's
multiple choice. So it's multiple choice.
So I could get it right.
Yes.
Okay.
Next. So it.
Oh no. PS2 game though, because I've seen a few of these that I played.
PS2 game. We know it's a crime game.
I've seen a few
which PS2 game?
Okay, strafe right. Okay. I don't remember a McCormick
Is
from...
it A, True Crime New York, B, Dead to Rights, C, The Getaway, D, The Getaway Black Monday, E, True Crime Streets of LA, which is actually the precursor to the True Crime New York,
Right.
F, the third driver game, but with three for instead of E, 25 to life, G, 25 to life, H, Just Cause, I, Mafia, J, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, K, Driver Parallel Lines, which is actually the fourth driver game, M, Scarface, The World Is Yours, N, The Godfather, or O, all of the above.
Well, it can't be that. I mean, there's not a McCormick in all. What is
Allan,
that?
your thoughts?
1, 2, 3.
Something popped up on screen. It says prediction incoming.
C, driver. Trick question is Just Cause. I mean, I definitely could see a trick. Well, now I can't see what the choices are.
Okay, well, bring the...
Maybe Hades 2?
Oh, what's that?
It's the quiz.
Is it? I got B, lol. Screens. That's okay. You know, I can kind of look down there.
Okay. A, True Crime New York. B, Dead to Rights. C, The Getaway. D, The Getaway Black Monday. E, True Crime Streets of LA. F, the third driver game. DRIV 3R.
No,
25 to life. H, Just Cause. I, Mafia. J, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Driver Parallel Lines.
Drive 3er.
M.
That's not a typo, right? That was
in the game. Drive 3.
Drive 3. Yeah,
that was not a typo.
The third driver game.
It's the third driver.
And it wasn't a
3.
Oh, okay. So they spelled it right the first time.
Somebody in the table was, it's the third driver game. Let's just spin the E backwards.
Yeah, no, I mean it's smart, and I've seen it before.
Allan, what do you think about
Allan,
that?
do you have a guess? Can I do the ask the audience? Yeah, I'll phone Allan.
Okay. Do you have my number?
Allan?
Yeah. 1 second. Pull Allan up.
You gave him another excuse to look at his phone.
I typed in Appin on it. APAN, which is sort of.
These are crazy.
You give Allan a because I was going to say I haven't looked at my phone at all.
And can we throw up the GameFAQs?
I shouldn't FaceTime.
Clip, the GameFAQs. The blurb from the FAQ, so people know what to talk about. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Allan.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Oh, hey, Wyatt.
Oh, are we talking?
Let me put you on speaker.
Sure.
Wait, what's happening?
I'm calling Allan.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, it's Wyatt. Okay. The question, there was a long description of McCormick, and I have to strafe right.
Okay.
It's from GameFAQs.com, which is a walkthrough guide.
Yes.
It's a walkthrough guide from GameFAQs.com.
I know GameFAQs.
Okay. And so the question is essentially what the well, I'll read it to you.
Okay.
Once in the police station, a guard will be standing there waiting for you. He will guide you into a room, so follow him.
Okay.
If you know where the room is, run there yourself because it is a lot faster. So wait in the room, and you have to wait. He leaves and then exit the room. Turn right, then go down a right hallway and left down the next to find the stairs on the right.
Okay.
Go up them and cut through the, and this is in quotes, Intel office. I think it's.
I understand.
Which is the first doorway on the right.
Sounds like an office where they probably keep a lot of
Next
things
to the
up.
hallway. I lost it. I think my time ran out.
I think it.
The options are.
Okay. Well, I feel like that
The
sounds like it's from one of the true crime.
Okay.
games.
Well, I've only played True Crime Streets of LA, so is McCormick? Does that sound to you more like an East Coast name or a
It
West?
sounds like an old New York kind of a name.
Like from maybe someone that Tony Soprano in the game would have to tussle with.
So maybe that's
Okay.
enough information for a guess.
I think so.
But I
Okay.
don't really know. Okay,
Matt
great talking
Cormack
to you.
sounds could be Scottish.
Matt
Talk to you
Cormack.
later.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Caller,
Now that
do we
was
have a
very-
caller
that
that's
was
on the
very
line right now?
informative.
Caller, you're on the line. You're on the air with the EGI 2
Oh, maybe.
Stream 22.
Well, I'll phone him too.
Phone-
or her.
phone-
Or
Wyatt is phoning you.
Put your
Who
number
are
in.
you? Where are you
Oh.
calling from?
Well, this is Double Plus from the chat.
Hey,
and I'm
Double
calling
Clutch.
from Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon, the city that never sleeps. What are your thoughts?
Yes. So most of those games had driving as their core component.
Right.
So you could eliminate a lot of them just because you never got out of your car. But I never played like the Getaway Black Monday, so that's in the running. The only thank you, Catherine. The only thing
Mafia?
I do like the whole McCormick angle. Could be the Godfather because that sounds like a typical Irish cop name.
Okay, so
Right.
Mafia.
Or Mafia's also has.
Yep.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto. No.
There's a lot of options.
Scarface.
And I never even played that Scarface game.
Oh,
So
no.
you're thinking maybe it's more of a Mafia game and a game where you're probably not Drive or any of the Getaway games because you would be in the car the
I
entire
just
time.
want to tell
Straight.
everybody that I know the answer.
I believe you.
Well, yeah. Didn't you make the? Did you make it?
Yeah.
Okay. What's that?
All I'm thinking is, I think you can get out of the car in the Getaway. I think you can, but so that's in the running.
Okay.
So the Getaway, what we're hearing from Double Plus is that the Getaway and the Getaway Black Monday are both in the running.
You think so? Yeah, because you can get out of the car. But Driver, maybe you can't get out of the car?
Driver.
I know you can get out of the car in True Crime Streets of LA because you have to do a lot of sort of karate missions, martial arts. That one I played. It's a funny game. Robbie, did you ever play it?
I never played the True Crime games because I always figured that they were about to get it
It's a
right,
bit
and they got it right, but
it's
they wasn't with
jank.
the True Crime
It's a-
games.
it's-
They made Sleeping Dogs, which is excellent.
Yes. Sleeping Dogs. Yeah, they're a bit jank, but I found that funny when I was playing that on the GameCube back when I was a younger man. We found it almost funny that you would be driving around LA and you would fall through the floor of and then maybe fall into the ocean. We found that to be a bit
You know what,
humorous.
Allan, your thoughts?
When I see a sleeping dog, I'll wake it up.
Caller, you're on
Are
the
you
air
a
at
dog?
twitch.tv/EGI_2. Are you telling us live right now on twitch.tv/EGI_2 Stream 22 that your top two picks for the answer are the Getaway and the Getaway Black Monday?
No. So that's not exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying they're in the ring, but I will say that.
I'd like two
Put
to
the-
three
put the-
options.
Put the list back up there. I want to see that list.
And I do appreciate all your help. I'd like 2 to 3 options, maybe, if you think what would Robbie really want to be talking about?
So here's the deal. L.A. We got let's get rid of L.A. Any city. Let's get rid of the Scarface because that's Miami and L.A. You're not
Okay.
going to have a McCormick.
Correct.
We're looking at freaking either Europe or freaking Boston or something like that. So we can get rid of those just by logic.
Okay.
So we're now stuck with, I think, as I said, Dead to Rights is in there. It's possible. I don't know if you can get out of the car. But again, we're coming down to we only have a few. I would almost say get away from the Getaway.
Okay.
And I never played Getaway Black Monday. That's the only reason that's still in the works.
Okay.
So, so there's that. We're down to about 3. And I've never even heard of 25 to Life. I think that's just
Yeah.
that's a.
It was like a single player. It was like a single player Twisted Metal game, but set in South LA.
Oh, L.A. off the map.
Or sort of a facsimile.
There's no Irish or Scottish people in L.A. We've all lived here for some amount of time.
There's
Zero.
a lot of Scottish people.
Yep, including myself, but it doesn't count.
You're Scottish too?
I have a little bit in me, yeah.
Well, I thought I've been to LA. I've been to E3 countless times. I've been to E3 about 12 times.
Yeah.
I've never seen a McCormick. They don't
Scottish.
even have a McCormick's and Schmick's there.
Right.
I know a lot. I know a lot of Macs. I gotta say, in this town, I've fallen into a sort of a Scottish diaspora in my travels throughout the city. Allan,
maybe at the Tam O'Shanter?
Any Macs?
No.
At the Tam O'Shanter, maybe.
So we're running. We're deep into question
sure.
now. You've got some.
I'm sure there's more questions,
plus.
right? It's
You've
not
got
the last
some
question of the
great
quiz.
Points here, but we've got to move along.
I'm gonna
What's the answer?
I'm gonna go with I Mafia.
Wrong. Unfortunately, double plus, and unfortunately for you, Wyatt, it was in fact the Getaway.
Yeah, first Getaway.
Thank
game.
you for your call, double popo.
That was a tough one.
Double plus, good.
Thank
We're
you.
Good,
It's a wonderful. I liked
Yeah.
everything that you did. It just happened to be completely wrong.
Right. And do we know where the Getaway games take place?
London.
Oh my God!
Next up for you, Wyatt, is a new question coming to you right now, live here on Twitch.tv/EGI_2, and this one is.
We were so focused on which part of America, man. We neglected to think that some of these games could be across the pond, if you will.
Elemental Gearbolt is a light gun shooter published in the U.S. by Working Designs. Which of the following were not published by Working Designs? A. Alundra, B. Lunar Silver Star Story Complete, C. Magic Knight Ray Earth, D. Shining the Holy Ark, E. Albert Odyssey, The Legend of Eldian, F. Iron Storm, G. Silhouette Mirage, H. Popful Mail, Magical Fantasy Adventure, I. Gun Griffin
Make
Blade,
this easy for
J.
you.
Vey.
This is one of the hardest questions I've ever seen.
Silpede the Lost Planet, or M. Raystorm and or Ray Crisis.
This is one of the hardest questions I've ever seen. I mean, this is designed to stump any brilliant gamer.
Now I know that people are going to be tempted to look up
No,
Elemental Gearbolt, look up Working Designs on Wikipedia, and try and give Wyatt the answer at this moment. But don't let that impulse take you away, because ultimately, when you cheat, cheating is just one step removed from criminality.
Well,
you don't want to get gushed.
Oh, we have someone on the phone.
Don't get gushed, Wyatt.
What's that?
Who's that?
It's Alex from California. Wyatt, you don't want to get gushed, or anyone really.
Alex from California, you're calling in at the right time, because Wyatt is stumped and he needs your help.
Come on, Alex. Which one of these games is it? It's go ahead.
I need a moment here. The list will need to appear.
But oh yeah, there it is. Albert Odyssey. Now that sounds Albert Odyssey. It's kind of a funny name.
Alan, what are your thoughts?
Is that the name of the main character from the show?
It was Thunder Force V.
What did you say?
Thunder Force V.
Thunder Force 5? Alex from California.
Wait, no, I didn't want Alan to guess for me. Don't. Alan's guess doesn't count.
I don't. I hate to say it, Alan. I would, if I had access to the buttons, I'd put the incorrect button on that. But I don't think we could.
I'm not gonna tell you guys the answer, but I will say Thunder Force 5 was in fact published by Working Designs.
Wait.
So you can I'm slimming it down for you, Wyatt. I'm making it a little bit easier.
You're saying it was?
No, so it was. What you want is the one that wasn't.
Right. Sorry.
Is there only one?
I'll tell you.
Is there only one?
It's funny because you put up something it's so convoluted, and then it just goes away.
There's not that many shooters on the list.
It's moving right.
Unless you.
Which of these were not published by Working Design? Which of the following? Is there more than one?
Is there more than one?
What?
Answer?
It could be.
No, there's only one.
It's moving around so much I can hardly keep track of it. It's moving left. You guys can't see. It's moving left and right.
Wait,
Alex, your thoughts?
There's 5 correct answers.
So, from what I can remember, they've published every of the shoot 'em ups in this list here. So yeah, Thunder Force 5 is one of them. Soulfeed, they did publish. Raystorm, they did. And the also.
But which one did they
Awful
didn't?
Mill,
Which one
Still
didn't
at
they do?
Mirage.
He's working through it, Alan. Don't interrupt. This kid's a genius, I'm telling you.
This is phone a friend.
And then they also published the majority of the RPGs that we see here as well. Lunar Star
help
Silver and is one of their most known releases, I would say. I forget if Magic Knight Ray Earth is one of those.
Magic.
But
Which I believe was based on an anime.
yeah, actually, wait. I think that was the one
Not
that
easy.
one of these was released really early on in the Saturn's life, and then it was the last game released on the Saturn in the U.S. because they're not working design isn't fast at what they do. So
They put out a quality. They
That
put out a
Magic
quality
Knight?
product. They put the work in.
yeah,
There's a reason that Silver Star Story and Lunar 2 both are about the same weight as a brick.
The game?
indeed.
Because they put in art books,
Right.
music CDs, etc. So Lunar Silver Star Story, Alex from California, you're absolutely right. You knew it. They Working Designs did publish that one.
But which one
Okay.
didn't they do?
Oh, sorry.
'Cause
Well,
you're trying
we've
to
got
find out what they didn't do.
again.
what they did.
I'm
The
having.
least familiar name to me, I would say, is Iron Storm. But
Okay.
each and every one of these games is basically released from the Working Designs, but I don't remember them releasing Iron Storm.
You think Ironstorm could be a good potential guess for what was not published by Working Designs?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what Ironstorm? You don't remember any images, maybe from the box art or anything from that game. That's okay. Well,
It might be some sort of strategy game. I don't recall. I'm not too into that genre personally. So.
Hey, and
All right, we got to
no,
move
that-
along. So
we're gonna
Wyatt,
go.
you're gonna
Let's
need
go
your-
to F, and that is my last name.
F
Maybe
for Ironstorm.
F for Wyatt
Alan,
Fair
Alan-
and Iron Storm.
Wyatt Fair, Ironstorm. Wyatt, that's
got-
your last answer. Alex, you feeling good about that answer?
I bet it's right. You're
I'm just
smiling
going
like.
with my gut.
You're both wrong.
Oh, no.
It was Shining the Holy Ark.
Oh,
The Shining series. It would have been published
okay.
by Sega. So
it's
you
not
could've
shining.
probably-
It's not shining like.
Next up on the
Here's
quiz.
Johnny.
Wyatt, True or false?
Worth a shot.
Warframe.
Back to you, Robbie. Back to you, Allan.
False. What Warframe? False.
Alan,
True. Why do I get to guess?
caller.
False.
Oh, excuse me. Huh?
Oh, wait.
Caller. True
People
or
are saying
false?
true, people are
True or
saying true,
false?
people are saying true.
Warframe?
Oh, but it's a trick question because
Wait, hold on.
it's random.
Well, it is Warframe.
It's in true.
So it's true.
True or false?
Oh, is that Warframe? What we're
no,
looking
it is
at?
Warframe. It is
Warframe,
true or false?
Oh,
Like biblically?
false.
Why do you say
I said
false,
false.
Alan?
It's a
I
game.
would say. Okay.
Right.
It's a game.
It's fantasy.
This is from Digital Extremes. It's the free to play, pay to master, third person shooter. You play with your friends. It's got a dedicated.
But it
fan
never
community.
It never happened.
All of that sounds false.
But it never happened.
What do you mean it never happened?
It never happened. Like Alan said, it's not. It's got to be false because
you
it's
can
not.
download it on your Switch right
But it's
now
never.
if you
It never.
want it.
True.
It
I'm
didn't
changing
happen. It
I'm
wasn't
changing-
happening before.
Yeah, but now I'm changing my vote to true.
We're changing it. Alan's changing his votes true. Alex, California, is that still you?
Yeah. I would say Warframe.
That was my first impulse. That it was false. It's not a real. It's not like.
What are people saying? It does have cross save. That's a big one for me. If you're going to be putting all that time and effort into building up your characters, building up your frames.
Grimes_Awakening says I have over 1,000 hours in Warframe. I say true.
All right, that's
Okay, Grim. Yeah, I mean that's
Wyatt.
that's a ringing endorsement. I mean, if someone has put 1,000 hours into anything, it's got to be pretty good. And if for something to be good, it must be true because lies will break you and lies will ruin relationships and break your heart and break and love has got to be true.
Alex
So I'm
in
gonna.
California, how are you feeling about this?
Alex said false,
I'm
but it is fake.
I'm still gonna say false. If I may, after the answers revealed, I do got a little fun fact about Warframe.
Go ahead.
Okay, I guess I'll bring it up now. Have you heard of a game called Dark Sector?
Yes, we've all talked about Dark Sector.
I don't know it.
Like,
I'd like to know. I don't know. I don't know. Dark Scepter or
Dark
Sector?
Sector. With a
Dark
K.
Sector. It's another game developed by Digital Extremes. Early on in Dark Sector's development, that was actually
Dark Sector is a third-person action adventure game set in a unnamed Eastern European country where you, as the titular player character, travel around throwing your glaive at creatures that look like warframes.
Yeah, I was happy to learn about that, Robbie. You can't.
But Wyatt, you
can't be so hard on your. You can't be so hard on your guys. I've never heard of Dark Sector in my life.
Alex in California, we gotta leave you. We gotta hang up on you right now. But Wyatt, you get the last. Back to you, Alex. And back to you.
You're doing the thing from the other
earlier. Person to call in, Allan.
Allan.
Back to you, Allan.
I was
back
calling
to you, Wyatt.
Allan.
Back to you, Warframe. True or false?
Someone had 1,000 hours and they said true, so I think true.
Correct.
All right.
So we got one.
1 out
so
of 3,
33%.
33%. Not bad.
Breaking news: Wyatt's got true. Warframe is true.
Was that the best anyone's done on the
Anything
quiz?
with cross save
is true.
Is true.
Okay.
I think is the rule.
Even if
here.
it's a fantasy kind of game that didn't exist, or
all
not,
I
know, it's not
know
real.
is that it's got the community around the Warframe community is up there with the strangest and most dedicated people I've ever come across in the gaming world. So Warframe is a ringing endorsement from EGI too.
All right.
Next up on It's the Quiz.
All right, that's good.
Death Gambit's critics were nearly united in pointing out which of the game's supposed shortcomings: A, game length and value; B, lack of multiplayer; C, clunky, unresponsive combat; D, lack of Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy; or E, all of the above.
Okay. The D seems like, and I don't think anyone would be mad about. Maybe if it's a game with the Marvel title and Iron Man, maybe it was called Iron Man the Game: Iron Man: the Game, and there was no Marvel characters in that. I think people would be righteously upset because they say, I want to play as him. I want to play as Tony Stark. I want to mess around with his inventions and his and maybe sleep with his girl in a cutscene.
You know, Allan, I want to point out, Allan, the Gambit Ghost Rider crossover was pretty interesting.
What was her name?
When they fought the Brood.
Her name is like
Pineapple.
Yeah, it's like Patricia. It really is. It's an alliterative weird Patricia Pepper or something.
Oh yeah, Pepper Potts.
Pepper Potts. There it is.
Pepper
yes,
Potts.
and maybe in a game you could screw his girl.
Hello, Pepper.
Although I guess it would be strange if you were playing a Marvel game and then there was a full kind of nude cutscene in it, and you were having sex with.
I think that.
And it's Gwyneth Paltrow, and it's done with very tastefully, and also but tastefully, and they do mocap on and everything. You know, it's like one of those sex scenes from The Witcher, but you know you're having sex with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Old Skunky says, "I miss my friend James Trevor." James, how are you doing over there? James is okay. He's having a good time. We're all trying to get through this quiz. But Wyatt, you do have to make a call.
Okay, so D is out. Well, can I get the choices back up so I can see them down there. Okay, Death Gambit's critics were nearly united in pointing out Death Gambit. And what kind of a game was this, Robbie?
This is a Metroidvania Souls-like crossover kind of a game. So
okay.
Two-dimensional exploration and action and exploration with very, very difficult combat and big boss battles.
Okay. I mean, I have to, with a game like that, I have to assume, I think I have to go, in a game like that, you want things to feel nice. You want your hits to feel strong. I don't think multiplayer would be part of this calculation for this game at all. Game length and value, I mean, that's kind of a random guess. I think C is what people would be most upset with.
C is correct.
All right.
Hey, see, that was smart.
We have two corrects, 2 wrongs. Allan, how are people feeling about the quiz right now?
Joe Botnick says yes in all caps. Danny Laundry says nice in all caps. Low Vibe 75 has 4 exclamation points. So people love the game. They love the quiz. Nice. They are excited for Wyatt, and we're all just having a great time.
And Allan, I will point out to you right now, because it's important that they re-released Death's Gambit with the Afterlife release, and they fixed the combat.
I agree.
So what a great way to play if you love a difficult challenge, if you like action exploration, great pixel art, and now good combat. Death's Gambit Afterlife could be for
That's
you.
great.
Wyatt?
That's great. That's great because again, it's just not gonna work if it doesn't feel if it doesn't feel correct. You know, if it's slow and it's gonna break people's hearts if it's not. And so I'm glad it's been updated for a new what system. What can you play it on? Steam?
Most of them.
Okay.
Let's do the next.
Maybe
The next question is coming up right now.
Switch,
the following
maybe.
crap screenshots are from either A, Carrier, B, Unreal Championship, C, Warpath.
Okay.
They put an extra ER at the end there. D, Blue Stinger, Hybrid, E, Hybrid Heaven, F, Time Splitters, G, Red Faction 2, H, Mechasalt 2, Lone Wolf,
And this
I,
is another
Zurek, Rise of Parathia,
I'll tell you, this is
J, Nightcaster 2, Equinox, K, Brute Force, or L, none of the above. Let's see the crop screenshot.
and this is another.
Next slide, please.
This is a really. Oh wait, now this almost looks familiar to me, because I've played Time. Is it Time Splitters? Is on there?
Time
I
Splitters
played Red
is-
Faction
is-
2.
Time Splitters is on there. Red Faction 2.
And then
is
there's a
on there.
lot
Let's see the choices.
gobbledygook, if you will, games that I've never heard of in my life.
You gotta-
Warpather.
Are we opening up the phone lines for people to call in and give their opinion on which of the where the screenshots are
This
from?
feels like something that someone could know. It's not Azric. That's third person.
Brute Force. No.
Looks Red Faction like there is a hole in something. Yeah, that was Red Faction. You could put holes in everything, right? Isn't that
Red Faction? You can put.
It was
holes in
awesome.
everything?
Yeah, that was a great game. Are
So
there
the
holes?
Let's throw the screenshots.
Let's see if there's any holes.
One more time, so people can get a good glimpse of these cropped screenshots. We just cropped the hell out of them. You really can't see. You can't.
They're
you
different.
can't see most of the identifying things that you would need to see to
Right,
make a guess.
Yeah.
It says not Carrier, not Blue Stinger. Interesting because
Not Azareth. And again, it is hard
Double
because
Plus
I
Good
would
Games is Asura's
I would
Wrath
love
is-
to have a side by side of while people are chit chatting about it. You know, I could see, I could go, cross it off in my head. You know, we cross off Azric, we cross off. You know, I've already lost the Carrier, Blue Stinger. You know, now. Sorry, I don't want to tell you. I don't want to say the game is rigged or anything, but I feel like you're trying to stump me.
That's what a quiz is.
I thought the last question was kind of easy.
Put all your 10 points into the game.
I mean, I don't think anyone who's maybe someone who's never played a
Asura's
video
Wrath
game
in there,
can
Double
get
Plus
it.
Good Games. Let's keep it serious. That's obviously
Sorry.
a nonsense question. Asura's Wrath is you would be able to identify it just pretty easily.
Which
I
game?
think. Asura's Wrath, the Unreal 3
Oh.
engine brawler that
Yes,
has
that
a
would be
great
easy.
deal of quick time events and all sorts of
That-
world-spanning baddie bashing.
That would be easy. That would be easy, and it wouldn't look like this. I mean, I don't see any holes. I mean, I don't know if it's Red Faction. Okay, yeah. Well, let's think about it. There's no mechs, so I can't. I assume there's not a mech game.
And if you're
Brute Force sounds a bit like fighting as well.
If you're new to the show, then we do have shirts and hats for sale at this website address here.
The hat, if anyone hasn't seen the hat, it says, "I don't trust the mainstream video game media," which is a bit of a pot shot at
the big boys,
Polygon and.
But it's the quiz. We're not talking about the merchandise. We're talking about it's the quiz.
All right,
we do have to make a determination. Let's see the screenshots one more time. Let's see the list of possible options.
They're all different. It's all a little messed up.
Oh, they're all from the same game. I promise you that.
No. I trust you on that. I don't know. I'm a little lost. Let's go with B. Someone said they thought it might be B or someone. I'm gonna go with B. Unreal Championship.
B. Unreal Championship. Is that your
right.
final answer, Allan?
Yep.
Can't be right. Is it?
You're wrong.
Yeah.
None of the above. It was Mach and X for the Sega Dreamcast.
Was that an option?
Mach and X was not an
None of
option.
the above?
None of the above was the option.
No, right, but yeah, that would have been. It would. I would have made sense. At
It
this
had to
point,
be
you would have done it.
We had to get Mach and X in there, and we got it in there. Mach and X, Allan.
Mach and X.
First person, slash 'em up, similar if you played Breakdown on the Xbox or even the third person Mach and X game, which was developed by some of the people who made the Shin Megami Tensei series.
Yeah.
You'll immediately recognize elements, visual elements, stylistic elements from those games. Wyatt must be feeling
That
a
was
little
an
bit.
Atlas
must
game?
be feeling a little bit.
That game was an
it
Atlas game?
Yes.
Wow.
It's published by Atlas.
It doesn't look a thing like Catherine Full Body. Now that's a game. Now let's see some of those characters. You'll probably get kicked off the web.
What are you talking about?
Catherine Full Body.
Next up is another question from me to Wyatt Fair. This is an essay question. Watch the following video of Rising Sand, the Samurai Gunman, and discuss what you have seen and why the things are happening in the video are happening.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
So just understand the question that watch the following video of Rising Sand, the Samurai Gunman, and discuss what you have seen and why the things that are happening in the video are happening.
Okay.
Alan, do you understand?
Yeah, it's an essay.
Alan?
Okay, it's the essay.
Wyatt?
But it's I don't get I'm not gonna write it down actually with.
No, we're gonna ask you to speak from the heart, to take in what you're watching, to take in what you're seeing, and do whatever you can to create a believable and thoughtful essay about Rising Zan, the Samurai Gunman.
Rising Zan, the Samurai Gunman.
And this is Rising Zan, the Samurai Gunman.
It's a bit of a tongue
twister. This is the Vampire
twister.
Hunter D that looks exactly like this.
Okay. Let's take a look. Oh, that's
What's that red dot?
Oh, that's what we're gonna find out on that. Yeah, what is the red dot? Is that I wish you could see the subtitles.
What is an all button event?
Okay. Okay. There he goes. All right. He says they don't have high hopes for King out a burger. I don't know. That looks like a pine cone. Burger, pine cone. He's going, and there's a lot of stained glass. Yeah. It seems like we're in the Sistine Chapel. Whoa. I like that he's shooting and using his sword to go through doors. It's interesting. It can. Okay.
Oh, okay. Wyatt?
Okay. Okay.
Speak from that. You can take a deep breath. Okay. You can collect your thoughts, but we need you to explain and discuss what you've seen and why the things that are happening in the video are happening.
Rising Zan, the Samurai Gunman. Okay. Rising Zan, the Samurai Gunman. Okay. Now,
and most essays start. My essay on the Rising Zan, the Samurai Gunman, is as follows.
Okay. Is as follows? That's how they start?
Yeah.
Alan? Okay. That's how they...
Right. That's the official format.
My essay
is as follows. Rising Zan, the Samurai Gunman is a game called Rising Zan, the Samurai Gunman for the PlayStation.
Let Wyatt do it.
It's not the Vampire Hunter D PlayStation.
Let Wyatt
write
the essay.
I do want to take it seriously because when it's presented as a quiz and it's presented as the essay portion of it, I want to make sure that I'm crossing my I's and dotting my I's. Okay. Yep.
I have a pen and a notebook. You can mime that you're writing it so it feels like you're writing an essay.
Okay.
And that will just help us.
It might be a little. Okay, we'll try.
You can hold it. You can hold it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and and it's not. I'm not really writing it down.
You could if you want, but you
okay. In this essay on Rising Zan, the Samurai Gunman, for the PlayStation 1.
Yes.
For the PlayStation, just PlayStation. Zan is our lone samurai gunman.
We follow the exploits of Zan.
Of Zan, the samurai lone samurai gunman.
As he rises to the occasion.
As he rises to the occasion.
Let Wyatt do it.
To defeat villains against his prized Christianity. Rising Zan is a Christian male, age 35, who wants to protect his
Zan.
Zan is the name of the villain, or he's Zan?
Well, it has to be both, right?
I don't know.
Double plus good.
Is it
Name
kind of a
says
duality?
The buttery smooth animation.
The
gonna
duality.
say-
That's what they call it. The duality. They call it the duality of Zan.
Okay.
Talk about the bomb guy.
Okay. Zan, the villainous Zan, as a
No, Zan's the hero.
But I thought you said he was the villain as well.
No.
There's
I'm
two of
saying
them?
Did he die?
He's got Zan.
But he died. So he's in the afterlife. I mean, I assume that.
No, he is Zan.
But he was holding a bomb that went off.
Well, right, which was thrown.
You know how they used to name kids Happy?
Hey, Happy.
They'd say, "Hey, Happy."
Happy.
Yeah.
And if Happy was having a good day, he'd still be happy, right?
Yeah.
So Zan is just Zanning out.
Like, are you referring to the sort of street term for Xanax, or he's
I think
Zan.
the character's name is Zan.
ZAN, not X. Anyway, Zan eats burgers and
Right
gets a
with the
bomb
pen.
and gets a bomb.
Right with the pen.
Right with the pen.
Zan eats burgers and maybe acorns, pine cones, to make him strong.
And he finds in boxes.
To make him big and strong. He uses his gun to open doors.
Yes.
Doors to the afterlife, I think. Doors. And then there's there's always an all button event. Make sure to push all your buttons at the same time, or else you'll pass. Zan will pass. It's important to not let Zan die, or else the fate of the empire of Zan and his empire, his samurai gunman.
Well, this is Zan, just a general
fate of Zan.
vibe.
His fate, but also the fate of his. I mean, I think he's
that?
probably lower on the totem pole, but maybe he's trying to impress his sort of higher ups in the
Zan.
In the Zan, kingdom, or clan maybe. There's the bomb. And this guy looks again. I think there's sort of almost a voodoo thing going on here because again we're in a church, sort of a notable place of death, a notable place of
Looks like
death.
a cowboy or a pirate.
Well, that's the gunman.
Oh
Yeah.
He's half yeah.
Samurai cowboy.
He's the samurai cowboy,
samurai cowboy.
gunman. I suppose in conclusion, sorry, I better keep writing. And in conclusion, Zan does indeed fight against the already dead villains in the church, and I'm just happy for him for really continuing to fight on.
Allan, your thoughts on Wyatt's essay?
I thought that was a good essay. I think you hit all the. It was sloppy in the middle, but you hit all the bullet points. You talked about the hamburgers and the pine cones. What was it?
Yeah, it was pine cones. I
Zan.
think Zan's
And
pine.
you said Zan. You talked about the bomb and the gun that opened the door. So
And
I thought it was pretty thorough.
And we talked about the church, and we did talk about the stained glass. So I thought that was an important element.
Right.
But we didn't. Did we talk enough about the man?
Zan himself.
Yes.
I feel like I was still getting to know him in some ways, Robbie. Like I know that he obviously has a sword.
Let's say good night to Scott from Pittsburgh.
Good
Off
night,
to
Scott.
dream the dreams of a dreamer. And to Scott we say, now we lay you down to sleep.
Pray the
Pray
Lord,
your
my
soul to keep. If you die before you wake, we pray the Lord your soul to take.
And again, I could see maybe even this Zan story being almost like a dream, it's clearly somewhat taken away from the confines of reality. You know, again, there's sort of a voodoo element maybe in there. Maybe and just entering a church like that, it's hard to not feel a connection to sort of your higher Zan powers. It's not, you don't see a lot of normal stories in the church. I think putting that in a game is putting that in a game is probably it's not quite it's not gonna it has a dreamlike quality and I do think that maybe the stained glass also. Yeah, I mean.
So what? Oh, wait, was it right or?
Well, chat. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that up. Well, I'm gonna make the final determination, but I'd love to know what people in the chat think about Wyatt's essay. Allan, you're obviously on board, but we do need to just check in with the community here, and the community seems like an overwhelming.
This is one incorrect.
Overwhelming correct. Giovanni 8, Gio from Texas is against, but I gotta follow my heart, and my heart is with the people. I'm a man of the people, Allan.
All right.
And I say correct.
Yay! Good job.
Ultimately wrong.
Way
Thank
to go,
you.
Wyatt.
So
Thanks,
that's
Robbie.
3 wrong, 3 right. You got
F.
That's a solid F. So good
It could be a worse. It's a worse F. Really.
It could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
Allan, it could be Wyatt wakes up with one of those with a bunch of tiny cuts on himself.
That would be terrible.
Because that would mean
Like
that would mean
Wonder.
that who would be back. Little boy Wonder, little man,
Little man.
what are they little
Wonder
little
Man.
little sneaky little sneaker. F plus.
F plus.
FPS Nug. Wonderful. And now we turn to our part of the show when we take a quick break. Back to you, chat. Back to you, Wyatt. Wyatt, how you feel? Are you recovered from the quiz? You feeling okay? Do you feel like you made the right choices?
Well,
obviously you made half wrong choices.
Yeah,
but
for a quiz so tricky, it feels like that's, when I took a physics class in high school and they graded it on a like a curve. So sometimes you would get an F half right. But then because everybody else did, you get maybe a C or a B, And
Allan,
that's
your thoughts
no
on
problem.
that? Grading Wyatt on the curve?
I don't think. Oh, I don't think you have to. I don't think you have to grade me on a curve for this. I mean, has anyone ever gotten all of them right, or even more than 3 right?
This is the first time.
This is the second time that we've done the quiz.
Wait, when did you do it before?
We did it on Stream 21 with Cammy.
Where was I?
Right there.
I can't imagine Cam got
but
any
let's
right.
open the phone calls and see what people are saying about the quiz. Are people happy with Wyatt's essay, or are people? What are people saying? What are people thinking?
Maybe the true or false.
Allan, what are people saying in the chat about the quiz, about Wyatt, about the break? Did we? Are we covering all of our bases?
EGI 2 Watcher said something about Robbie going pee during the break and watching you pee.
I was not going. I did not go to the bathroom during the break. I just sat here for a second, and I drank some water, and I hydrated, and I got my thoughts back together.
Joe Botnick says, we're all very proud of Wyatt.
All right. I mean, that's great.
FPS Nug says, I was just mad I lost points. I don't know what that means, but what does that mean?
I think they were playing a game.
Are they talking about the bits on?
I think
maybe so.
There was some sort of game that they could play.
Mozzulin says it's important to take time for yourself. I have to agree. We do have the phone lines open if you guys want to call in and talk about the quiz. We also, Allan, we do have time for Allan's special report right now.
I'm not proud of Wyatt.
This is Allan. We asked you to do a special report on because we brought it up during the last bit of the quiz. Rising Zan the Samurai Gunman special report. No, not that special report. We're looking for Allan's special report on the Vampire Hunter D game for the original PlayStation. PS1 Vampire Hunter D. Allan, is your special report ready?
Vampire Hunter D?
Yes. D is in, I guess, Dracula.
Vampire.
That's like his dad.
My special report on Vampire Hunter D. Vampire Hunter D is
for the PlayStation.
For the PlayStation 1. PlayStation. It was one of the PlayStation games released in 1996 by who was it?
Is this your essay on Rising Zan?
It's not an essay, it's a report.
Doing a special report. No one else is talking about this. Breaking news, if you're just joining us, we are talking about Vampire Hunter on the original PlayStation. No one else,
game.
none of the big boys, Wyatt, are talking about Vampire Hunter D.
Vampire Hunter D on the PlayStation was an action adventure game. You play as a vampire. The D stands for darkness because most of the games take place in the dark, and it was a lot of fun. It revolutionized vampirism in gaming, which is important.
Well, wouldn't you say, Allan, that Blood Omen Legacy of Kain would have cemented the vampiric active vampirisms?
Yes, I was actually just going to get to that.
Mist.
Vampire Hunter.
Animal control. Blood sucking.
Yes. Vampire.
Visiting women in the night.
I thought you were talking about mists.
No. I'm talking about Vampire Hunter D for the PlayStation. Walking in the footsteps of its predecessors, such as Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain, sucking women off.
But also mostly before. But before, and this is important, Wyatt, and this is something that you have to when you're thinking about Vampire Hunter D on the PlayStation, is that it came before games like Devil May Cry, which was obviously a big, deeply influenced by the Vampire Hunter D movies and books.
Yes.
Right.
And they came from books. The movies weren't first; it was books first. Did you guys know this?
The Devil May Cry books?
Yes.
No. Vampire Hunter D was a series of books.
Of course, the series of books about vampirism.
The D for darkness.
And
D travels the wastelands of this kind of vague fantasy.
Is D the character name as well?
D is the character.
D-E-E
he's the vampire.
D is the character.
But he's also
D is
Dan Peel.
Is vampire. And
is it
D?
D?
Of course, stands for Dracula, the most famous vampire. Nosferatu as well.
It also could stand for Dan Peel.
And Dan Peel,
which is he can go out during the day, unlike the other vampires.
D for day. And this is just one of these wonderful games that got lost in the shuffle.
And he has a hand, and it's true. And Mozzulin points out, and I'm sure, Allan, you're about to get to this, but he does have a hand that has a mouth on it, and the mouth also has eyes, so it's a full face. On the hand.
Let me just.
And sometimes it'll just suck up like big clouds of poisonous gas or lots of. There's in the original film, in the picture, in the animated movie, there's a man that is covered with bees.
Yep.
Oh.
And the bees come out of his back, and then the hand opens up its mouth and sucks all the bees in.
Real quick, Robbie? Is it sort of a funny vampire face like that, or more?
It's not a
scary?
Vampire face. It's
a hole.
Oddly enough, it's sort of just a normal face.
It's a whole face on his hand, not just a mouth.
I would say it's a face. It's a normal face. It's a regular man's face, but the man behind the face has got a lot of attitude.
Attitude.
Right.
So they're asking for eyebrows. I'll go to nose as well.
So
this should give you an example.
Yeah, that
gameplay.
But I do find that a little bit more of a humorous face.
It's
A
not
little. Well, I find it
at night.
cute.
Imagine it at night.
It wouldn't feel so cute if it came into
face.
your room
Right, it
at
would be
night
like-
and sucked you off.
Well, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff from video games that when I'm watching them, it's not so scary. But if it was happening to me in real life, I would be quite terrified. Even sort of maybe a lighter game, I wouldn't want.
A game of a lighter tone, like Rising Zan the Samurai Gunman. Alan.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, was that game light? It seems. Was it light? Was it humorous? I mean, it seems.
I would say it had a lot of vim.
Oh, hello, little hands. Hello, little guy.
But you can't look.
See,
at
that would be scary if it happened in real life to me.
That's what I'm trying.
Or yeah.
What we
Or,
are
sorry,
talking
yeah,
about
right.
the precursors. We are talking about the precursors to these
Vampire Hunter.
the Devil May Cry games, and even going so far as the God of War games.
Ah, yes. Yes. God of War 1, God of War
2, God of War 3,
God of War.
then there's God of War Chains of
Yeah,
Olympus.
it came back.
God of
War
War,
Ragnarok
Ghost of
is
Sparta,
new,
God
yeah.
of War, and then the
Talk about
final.
sex scenes. I mean, there was some good stuff in there. There was quick time event cutscenes where you square to pump or whatever. Do you remember those?
Alan?
I think so. Yeah. So,
Square to pump or
I'm done with my report. What did you think?
triangle to try a different position or
But
something.
importantly, if you played those QTEs correctly, everyone came out
Oh,
A-OK.
well, that would be.
Everyone had a good
I mean,
time.
that would be awful.
He's
That would be
generous.
awful.
Kratos is generous. He's a generous lover.
That's good.
He doesn't leave. He leaves no one behind.
I mean, that would be awful if you messed it up, everyone was unhappy. Maybe, or
But
if the
you
guy
know-
was unhappy, going, "Oh man," looking down at his maybe
But we
flaccid.
never got a,
flaccid
Alan,
old-
I'm always talking about this. We never get to see
flaccid old
Kratos
pecker.
just a sweet kiss.
The God of War.
The God of War.
You never see him kiss.
Never just a sweet peck on.
Wow.
Peck
I
on.
think I saw him
It
kiss
could be. Obviously, he's gone through a lot of pain and heartbreak in his life, which is why he's covered in the ashes of his family. And that's
Did
why
he kiss Atreides? Hold on. What's his name? Kratos?
Kratos. Atreides?
Atreides.
son?
Paul Atreides?
No, a Kratos Freya kiss.
Freya, right? That's his old.
Kiss.
What's the and the
What's-
fourth? What was
Kiss.
the
Yeah.
follow up to? There was a follow up to God of War 3 on the PlayStation 3 with multiplayer, and I can never remember the name of that one. Alan?
I'm trying to find the kiss, Robbie.
I'm not saying. I don't know if I know.
So,
I'm
Wyatt,
gonna
you're
give-
obviously learning a lot about the Vampire Hunter D on the PlayStation.
Yes. No. Yeah. No. I mean, it wouldn't. I came in here hoping to learn something about some older games, but yeah, Vampire Hunter D. Then the D. Well, let me clarify. The D is for day or the D is for darkness? Because I heard both.
Either for
Or his
Dracula
name,
or
or-
Dan Peel.
Okay,
But
but
I'm pretty sure it's
darkness?
Dracula. What the hell is that?
I
I
don't.
don't know what the hell that is. Get that out of here.
It's a little scary. Oh look.
Well, there
Well,
you go.
is that the
He's-
offi- oh, that's
so,
him. Yeah,
later
that's
in
him.
The, later
He kissed.
in the timeline, he gets a nice little kiss.
That's good.
Bookhouse BW subscribed. They
It's-
subscribed with for 6 months. Thank you so much, Bookhouse BW. EGI 2 Watcher in the chat says EGI 2 Watcher quiz. What was the first console game to have a save game feature? Now that to me, battery backup. I'm assuming probably Legend of Zelda is one of the first ones. But it also makes me wonder about games that had a save anywhere
Save.
option, which I think that you started to get into that whole business. Goodness gracious, probably around the time of either the Doom home releases or perhaps the Quake ones.
Mm-hmm. That seems right to me. I mean, I don't want to fact check you live on the show. I
But
think
Alan,
no point.
let's get ahead. Let's get
No
on
point.
with your Vampire Hunter D. Let's wrap up your Vampire Hunter D special report.
Maybe do
right
that.
here live on EGI.
In
2,
conclusion-
Twitch.tv. In conclusion.
Do the reports have a
In
conclusion?
conclusion, they kissed. They did kiss. In conclusion, back to you, Robbie. They kiss a lot, actually.
Yeah, it seems like the game's changed a lot from the older one.
Well, if you want to look up, if you go to wikipedia.org and type in Vampire Hunter D PlayStation game, you'll get the full reports for that game on your own time. So Mossy Lump says possibly the D is for Dampier.
Dampier, Dan. Could you
James
spell?
Trevor, our
Could
own
you spell
producer,
that for
just
me?
subscribed for 5 months.
Dampier.
Thank you,
Could you spell that for me?
DHAMPIR.
And now, is that an old-fashioned way to talk about a vampire?
Well, it takes place in the future.
Oh.
They're snugging, they're hugging, they're kissing, but that's not the Vampire Hunter D, Alan. That's just God of War, the God of War, the sort of second
I think that
burst of God of War games.
I feel like
Yeah. What's your point? They do all sorts of stuff.
Okay, next up we
I
should
feel as if
probably,
we can't show.
Next up we should, well, I guess we'll just go to It's the Arts.
Okay. Arts?
It's the Arts.
It's the Arts.
Is our next segment now that we've done the special report. It's the Arts, everybody. First up on It's the Arts.
There's already a couple art. I mean, this is already arts that's being shown off here. The arts, Allan is generating some art of his own, or at least finding it.
I'm finding
Well, finding, yeah, kind of like a detective.
What do you mean?
Maybe he's like Allan's like a detective on the web. He's finding funny photos of funny sort of sexual photos of Kratos and the gang, and
there's nothing sexual about kissing.
well, it can lead to
First up
it can
on
lead
It's
to all
the
sorts
Arts,
of different
it's,
stuff.
Cody from Florida with this
Wow,
beautiful,
you got the shirt.
beautiful
All
image of
right.
Cody from Florida, not only sporting the EGI2 official Child of Divorce T-shirt that you see here, that you can order here on this. You can order there. Seen it here. We've got some out there. People are sending in rapid fire pictures of themselves wearing the Child of Divorce T-shirt. But here, Cody has gone the extra mile and added in Genesis side scroller. You know, I hesitate to call Ranger X a shoot 'em up, Wyatt, because it is
Please.
in fact it is more of a run and gun, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how many bullets are flying in any? There's
Tons
a lot of bullets.
Are flying. You're running down these hills. You're gliding on this weird little skateboard thing. It's Ranger X, and Cody from Florida knows the business better than just about any other child of divorce. And then
You know, they were saying earlier that maybe I was hungry for some mixed nuts.
Next,
but people don't know that I already knew that were going to be a bit goofier than your regular mixed nuts.
Next up,
I wasn't
on
going to
It's the
necessarily.
Arts,
I wasn't going to fall for it.
Wonderful picture. Speaking of children of divorce, here's Ryan, and I'm guessing Ryan's either roommate or relative or partner. They're both wearing EGI2 official Child of Divorce T-shirts.
Wait, roommate
and
or
then
relative
Ryan from
or
Rhode Island
partner?
also managed
covered them
to
all.
snap a beautiful picture of the see-through green Dreamcast controller
Frame.
in a
Frame
kind of a
grind.
habitat.
Yeah.
With frame gride on the
Frame
mind,
gride.
frame gride on the television.
It looks
you
like-
can better believe it that Ryan from Rhode Island is on the case with his friend's Child of Divorce T-shirt. Alan,
Frame Gride.
That's it.
EGI2
EGI2 sponsor Frame Gride. We don't talk about Frame
Really?
Gride as much anymore now that we do have merch, but EGI2 is not explicitly sponsored by Frame Gride, but it is an example. The way that we talk about Frame Gride, the way that we promote, that we stand, Alan. We're standing Frame Gride, Alan. Isn't that right?
Yes. Frame gride is the goat, maybe.
Well, I think that's probably
Goated.
Goat with the goat.
The greatest of all time sponsorship.
Greatest of all time for that kind of a game, for that kind of arena mech combat game. I mean, you have to go with probably Virtual on Ontario Tangram.
Yeah.
Did you say Virtual Ontario?
Virtual on
Niagara
Ontario Tangram.
Yes, someone said Frame gride is bussin'. That's what we're talking about.
What is Frame Gride? Goated FrameSoft from software, not from.
Oh,
from software,
it was old
the
from
makers of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Demon Souls, Elden Ring, Armored Core.
I tweeted about this. I wanted to ask you, Robbie, do you think you're going to play any of the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC for Elden Ring?
Probably
it's
in
coming out.
like 15 years.
Right, when things slow down a bit.
Things gotta
Probably
slow
will
down
wait
a
till
little
it
bit.
seems like a bad game.
Right. I think I'm not going to play it because I worry I'll get too addicted to it.
The only thing that I'm worried about getting addicted to is Excedrin.
Do you take too?
I try to space when I've got the sciatica, so I need to space out how much Excedrin I take, so it doesn't become a problem. So and it obviously, aspirin and Tylenol, both of them are bad for your stomach lining.
Yes, you can't do it on an empty stomach either.
Next up on It's the Arts. It's thank you, Ryan from Rhode Island, for these beautiful pictures of your home life and your outdoors experiences.
I was gonna say it looked almost more like maybe Florida or somewhere in the south, maybe less Rhode Island. So I was shocked to see that's where Ryan was from.
Were you basing that on the reeds?
Yeah, the plant. Yeah, it looked kind of like kind of like something.
Well, Cody from Florida is the only one that I know.
Ginger.
Giovanni Gio from Texas sent us this.
It's ginger.
What is that?
Gia said that he said that he wasn't happy with my my essay, but that he liked me overall. I think.
EGI 2 quiz: true or false? Did a 17-year-old EGI 2 watcher get high and player featured in Nintendo's Tecmo Bowl? I'm gonna say true. That sounds like a wonderful story, and thank you for sharing it. It's the Arts. Thank you, Giovanni H. And I'm trying to.
It looks very.
Is this
familiar.
Allan?
Oh, I think that's me.
Or is someone saying it's a lung?
No, that's me.
That's you. How is that you?
I think
but I
it's.
feel a kinship to it.
Why do you feel like Giovanni? It's Allan's tapeworm.
Huh? I don't have a tapeworm.
Yeah, my first impulse was ginger.
I guess.
But is this a guessing game or is this?
It's the thing. It's Allan's
art.
interviewing. It's the slug. It's the tummy slugs. We did have last episode. Allan did shove a camera down his throat as far as he could, and found all sorts of interesting things.
Polyps
down in the depths of his.
Sometimes I'll watch videos.
Bowels.
It went all the way down there. I thought maybe it just went down into his throat.
It's the Arts.
Oh, that's what that is.
And thank you for showing us this beautiful rendition of that whole arc that we went through. Next up is from Yarn and Marcy, finding ways to. There's a thing. What is it? Disseminate the fire through meditation. The gush is quieted through meditation and peaceful thinking.
Okay.
Now this is where we begin to bear. This is the point where we need to let you know something very serious is happening.
Okay.
Now Allan, seen here, is stricken and burdened by a very serious thing, which is a hatred, a burning, deep, wild hatred of crime, criminality, sinners.
Yeah.
And one day, it's going to get to be too much. And on that day, a terrible thing living inside of Allan is going to grow and fill up his entire being and burst forth into the world like a great cleansing wave.
Yeah.
A tsunami of pain, of retribution and vengeance.
Yeah.
Of justice meted out practically against everyone who's even thought about breaking the law.
Oh.
That is called the gush.
Okay. Against people who have broken the law.
Allan?
That's right. You got it just right. Perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself.
And to see this image here representing the gush as it has been pacified temporarily in the waters of good conversation, of community, and of love and friendship.
That's sort of
quite the thing.
Is that a lily? He's on a lily pad there, right? That looks like a big lily pad to me. Was I?
Yep.
That's me on a lily pad.
And that's where you find peace and calm the rage and the dissatisfaction with lawbreakers.
Yep.
Okay.
I also think that could
Good.
be like a big mouth.
That he's sitting on?
It's like one of those piranha plants from Mario.
Oh,
PD
yeah.
piranha.
PD.
But no, that's a lily
Thank you,
pad.
Yarn and
Thank you
Marcy,
so much.
for
It's so beautiful.
this beautiful drawing. Find ways to disseminate the fire. Can't agree more. It's the arts. Next up,
We love that. Okay.
there's a screenshot of the EGI2 Discord.
Okay.
Discord, you guess now.
It's EGI2 Discord. If you haven't joined, there's a link on. If you haven't joined yet, there's a link on the front page of the channel that will take you there. I don't ever go there because I don't understand what's happening with my own life. But you guys seem to have a great time. So if you're into Discord, it's the Discord, and there's a screenshot of it and everything that is happening in that community. Wyatt.
Okay.
Sometimes art is just a group of people getting together in a loving community,
Right.
and having a good time.
And this is what stops Allan from kind of. I mean, it sounded almost like he might shoot something up.
I shoot people.
You do that now, or that's what you're afraid of you might do?
I'm not I'm.
Or it might happen.
It does happen. I do it. I'm not afraid of it. I just do it when I need to. When I see crime, I execute the crime, the criminal, and I would love a brief respite from that, where I could rest on a lily pad.
So the gush is happening all the time in little bursts, or I was under the impression that you were afraid that a large. Okay. So it's been happening, and
most nights I go
okay,
out
okay,
and I
Well,
keep my eyes open. Try to find
But that's not a big deal. That's just the squirt.
right. Okay, so that's the squirt. Every night there's a small squirt, and then one day there will be a massive gush, and we'll all be seeing that. And maybe that'll happen even when the sun is out, huh? Or is it always?
Good if something really bad happened
Right.
during the day, I would gush.
And if I lusted after money in the way that some people do,
Is that the worst sin to you, Robbie?
that could be considered some kind of a trigger.
I think.
Next up on It's the Arts.
I fear
And
envy.
thank you to everybody from the
envy
EGI2 Discord. Please
Envy sometimes is what I mean.
do whatever the hell you're doing
It's
on there.
scary.
It's Joe
All
Botnick.
right.
Joe Botnick, child of
Hey,
divorce
Joe.
from the UK, wearing not only sporting the EGI2 official
Okay.
EGI2 child of divorce T-shirt, but
looks like
also
Mario in the back.
next to the Super Mario Land 2 and the 6 golden coins,
Yes.
full color poster. Now
Nice.
that is a find. That I believe that's one of the first Mario games I ever played, and seeing Joe Botnick here, not only wearing a child divorce T-shirt next to a poster representing a game that I only played because my parents got divorced, I have to say, hats off to you, and they salute like this over there.
Joe should have known the question about if he was across the pond. Known the question about the PS2 driving games, the one with McCormick, I think his name was, and Strafing Right. He should have chimed in and said, "Oh, I know that's from
The Getaway.
The Getaway, which was a
He might have
UK
known
game.
that, but perhaps
Maybe he was keeping it to
perhaps
himself?
He kept it to himself because he wanted you to go through the whole process
Yeah.
that you had to go through.
Wow, he might have known it. I didn't want to give Wyatt any hints. Yeah, he must have known The Getaway. The Getaway was probably big over there. Much like
Oh, sorry. Can we restart those? Is that what's next? Okay.
I don't
All
know
right.
anything-
Next up is It's the Arts.
It's the arts.
Oh, It's the Arts.
Is it the end?
No, we have. I think now we have the videos. So let's start with the videos. Our first
Okay.
video this evening is from none other than Brian from Rhode Island.
I live in the game.
He had the game.
I search through systems,
Oh my God.
peoples, and
Did
cities
the console or the
in search of
in
this
the tree?
place. Electronic gaming information.
Wow.
My home. My format. I have no format.
We're gonna
I'm a renegade.
restart it. if we-
Lost in the net.
No, it was just.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
You love yourself. Just looking out for number one, are we? I am number one. The original.
The original.
You think this is a game?
You think this is a game? Do you?
Do you? But how? You're me. But you hate me. You must. Look at what you've become. You're wrong. I had to become bigger, tougher. I had to be ready for Megabyte to survive the games.
Did you like the games
more than mainframe? More than your family? No, I didn't. I was trapped in the games. Games. It was only a game. You killed my family. My family. You've forgotten your family. You let yourself become a prisoner of the games. What would Bob think of you now? Bob. There can be only one. Be seeing you.
Haunting. Very scary.
Allan, thoughts?
That was incredible.
Wyatt?
Incredible scene. It's
Yeah, frightening.
terrifying.
Very scary. I don't like to see a bit. I don't like to see a blob envelop anyone, but a man is always scary.
Sometimes all it takes to create a great video is just taking a clip from somewhere else and just saying the lines at the same time the characters in the clip
Made sense to me. It made total sense to me.
Made total sense. I felt
Tracked, yeah.
I was completely enveloped in the story. Wyatt, do you ever watch Reboot?
No, I've never watched Reboot.
Allan? You
Yes,
ever watch
Reboot. I think Wyatt's young.
Yeah.
How?
I'm 31.
Next up on It's the Arts is another video. It's an adventure to remember by Kimball. Take it away, video.
I kind of recognized it in a I kind of recognize the sort of art style and
I'd like to welcome you all to a special report
that's one
on
of
a
those things
game
I don't
with
really
a
know
special
about.
connection to someone we all know and love. I'm sure there's something imperceptibly familiar about even these few stretched pixels. Yes, I am here to tell you today about Adventures with Allan. Yes, Allan. Look at him there, jumping. That's our Allan. This is truly our Allan. Look, you can see his trademark bushy eyebrows and diagonal eyelids. It's as if the creators of this game asked their computer for Allan himself, and the computer knew just what to do. Now, seeing this, I couldn't help but imagine it.
Here, let's cut this and we'll show it next week, and we'll fix the volume. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. My bad. When I exported the video, we'll show it next week, and we'll make sure to restart it because it's a great video. I want everybody to enjoy it. I'm sorry about that. Mossy Lump and Kimball. Next up, we do have I keep making mistakes with these videos when I export and get them ready for the show. But we do have our Bookhouse BW haikus properly formatted, properly ready. Take it away, Bookhouse BW. It's the arts. We have another haiku from Bookhouse BW. Take it away. It's the arts. Whoa! Oh, Oh, that was weird.
Wow.
We have another. We have third one. Let's complete the trilogy. Complete the haiku trilogy. Here live here on twitch.tv/EGI. Oh, it was a gunshot. Oh, good God.
It was implying that maybe you took the gun to yourself.
Well,
or Allan has the gun. Maybe
Allan
shot you.
I think Allan has
shot
the gun
you.
and was going after the criminal.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not so bad then. That's exactly what we'd expect. Yeah.
It's the haiku. I guess it's the poetry.
That's great.
It's haiku. Well, and I don't know how people make a haiku. I don't really know what
I think
haiku
it's
haiku is.
3 5. Back to you.
Back to you, Robbie.
So 575.
Yeah.
That's a haiku.
The number
right
of
there.
words.
Yeah.
And that was from Bookhouse BW. Thank you so much. Sorry for screwing up your videos last week, and Mossy Lump and Kimball. Sorry for screwing up your videos this week, but I'll fix them for next week when we will come back with those videos, more videos, and also the screenshot. Screenshot You Guess Now. We will do another chapter of that and show off our new screenshot You Guess Now leaderboard, which I did not have time to make because I was busy messing up the videos. Next up, it's the arts. Is it It's the Arts still, or it's the cats?
Okay.
Let's do this.
It's the cat. We have two cats.
Two cats. I have two cats. Earl and Colleen.
Are they married?
No, they're not married. They're friends. They're a few years apart, which
friends?
in cat years, they're just friends. I've never seen them. Both women. I've never seen them fondle or each other.
Women can get
Of
married.
course.
There's nothing wrong with two.
But
women.
no. That's just to say, I was just kind of breaking. Well, a lot of people assume that Earl is a boy cat.
Earl.
But it's
My
short
name
for
is
Earl
Earl.
Grey. My name is. I have the same birthday, if you can believe it, Allan. Jason Lee.
Yeah, he's got a camera shop.
Yeah.
Oh, I was meowing under the cat slide.
Oh, sorry about that. Didn't mean to cut everybody off.
Meow.
Good Lord.
Did
What
someone
was that?
call?
What was that?
Caller, you're on the air with twitch.tv/EGI
Was that a sound effect?
_2.
I think-
Who is it? Where are you calling from?
This is EGI True Watcher. I'm from the great state of Massachusetts currly.
Massachusetts,
Okay.
EGI 2 Watcher. What are your thoughts on? We've had the quiz. We've had the Vampire Hunter D. Special report from Allan. We've had what are the other and the headlines.
And Rising Zan, sort of the essay.
Yeah, the It's the Arts. The It's the Arts has been great. Now we're on It's the Cats.
And EGI 2 Watcher, your thoughts on perhaps Wyatt's performance so far with the quiz, with all the questions that we have thrown at him, with all of the prodding and poking that we have done to him.
He's been great as a guest, but I think it took a little while to pick up on just how stupid EGI 2 is. I think he thought it was like a serious show for a while. I thought
Did
that
I?
was pretty funny.
What's that?
How was I
What the
being?
hell?
How was I
What is
being
it?
serious?
What is that?
No,
curious.
you were a great
No.
guest. I'm just
Oh,
saying it's so
we've been
convoluted.
rated.
It's so weird at this
Right.
point.
Right.
It's hard to
for
follow
rating.
it for a newcomer.
Right. No, it's true. It is.
Yeah.
It is somewhat overwhelming at first, but I found it sort of yeah.
Guests normally pretend they've watched the show before. He didn't even really pretend.
Oh,
EGI
and I have
2
watched the show actually at least once or twice.
How are things in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts at this moment right now?
Good. I haven't been here for 20 years. I came back yesterday. I played basketball today. Great to be back.
Playing basketball, Massachusetts, good feelings all around.
The Celtics are in the NBA Finals.
Congratulations.
And we've just been rated by
My brother's going to the game.
With a
He's
party
going to the game tomorrow.
Which I guess, I don't think it's ever happened. I don't think we've been raided by just a party of one before.
Welcome. This is EGI 2.
We have merch for sale. And
That's my call. My call, Robbie. My call juiced the numbers.
Thank you EGI2 watcher. You've for juicing the numbers. You've always and also for your special report last week on perhaps gust sightings in the woods. I guess around either the turnpike or maybe it was 95.
Both actually.
90 is it 95 in? Is that a highway in Massachusetts?
95 goes from Miami, Florida to Portland, Maine.
See, as I've said, I'm a West Coast guy, so for me, that's the one. The one is the Pacific Coast Highway that goes all the way. I mean, that goes through Mexico and Canada as well. Right now, it's broken at Big Sur because of
exactly. The big difference
mudslides.
between 1 and 95 is the 95 rarely crumbles into the ocean.
That's right.
Which the one seems to do on a bi-monthly basis.
Yeah, you should. It's not. It's an impractical highway. The 5 is really how you want to get up and down the coast. I mean, up and down the state of California.
But the one is very beautiful.
The one is very beautiful. It's a scenic. It's a scenic route.
95 is
the
very
5 ain't bad either, and the 5 is about to get a whole lot prettier as long as we can finish that dang California bullet train.
Why would that make the 5 pretty?
Because you could look at the train from the car as it zips past.
Yeah, that would be. But you should be driving and focusing on. Does anyone ever touch the table? I keep having the impulse to put my elbow on the table. It seems quite wrong.
Just don't touch.
Do I get? How much do we get paid for? Does Allan get paid, and how much do I?
Allan gets.
Because it's a bit of a show.
Allan gets nothing.
You don't.
I don't.
You need a special code at Allan's store
I get to
named after you.
I take my wife to dinner because she does the childcare this evening.
Okay.
And then
that's great.
And that's how the show runs.
Yeah.
And then whenever I put up new merch, I always forget to put the
price tag on
it.
It's free.
Or for the shipping, so people end up paying money so people can have shirts and hats.
You pay. Wait, you forget to add the shipping charges?
Mm-hmm. What is this?
It feels like your fans shouldn't let you get away with it, or shouldn't want to get away with it.
Well, everyone stuck through us thick and thin, lean and plenty.
Good and plenty.
The good time is the best times. It was the worst of times. It
Charles
was
Dickens.
With EGI2 watcher. Final thoughts, EGI2 watcher.
I don't know. Something about the gush that's funny, I guess.
All right.
Sure.
We're all laughing.
Fair enough.
We're laughing together. We're all a big family. Thank you for your call. Next up is I think it's the cats.
Okay. Now, are there any video game cats that you like, Robbie?
There's that cat game.
There's the last cat
Stray
game.
Cat.
I got the cat game. I got the other cat game too.
Caught in the Act. Garfield Caught in the Act.
Oh yeah, they got
That's
an
a good
even newer one. Look at him.
There's a cat.
This is Joe Bodnick's
Blinks.
cat.
What's it called?
Really
I don't know.
cute cat.
I forgot. But look at that cat. It's right in that box that looks like a Mario box.
He's cute.
Pepper the cat. Thank you, Joe
Pepper
Bodnick,
Potts.
for sending us pictures of
Pepper
Pepper the
Potts.
cat. It's wonderful to imagine Pepper the cat roaming around in that classic English countryside, the moors, the woods,
There's a lot of
the fens, and the fields.
Stick down from that pepper.
Well, what did you say?
stick down from that pepper.
Get down from that pepper.
Get down from there. Stick down from there. Pepper.
Remember when Patrick Stewart said salt and pepper?
Oh yeah.
Imagine just the cat walking into Joe Botnick's room, standing on its back two legs.
Joe standing on?
No, the cat is. Just imagine the
And
cat
talking
doing
to
that
him?
to Joe Allen.
Oh, the cat is standing and talking in
Right.
perfect
So
English?
you can imagine that if the cat were to walk in on Joe playing Super Mario Land and 6 golden coins, thinking about how absolutely 100% divorced his parents have been for so long. And the
is
cat,
this Joe's cat we're looking at right now?
Who the hell is that?
Who is caller? You're on the air with twitch.tv/EGI under.
Who is that?
Score 2. It's Joe Botnick's cat Pepper.
Oh, hey Pepper.
Hi, Robbie. This is Dominic from
And
PA
Allan.
calling in.
Dominic from PA.
And Wyatt.
Dominic.
And Wyatt.
What happened to us?
Hello, Wyatt.
There you go.
No problem, Dominic. Dominic said hello, Robbie, but he didn't say hello, Allan. He didn't say hello, Wyatt.
Oh, hello
I'm
to
sorry,
hello,
I got
Wyatt.
I just got off of
Allan.
work now. I haven't been able to catch the stream at all, so I'm actually not sure what's going on. But I assume it's
You
it's
just
the
called.
cat.
You weren't watching.
Well,
you just called the number.
We're showing
good
pictures
guess.
of we've got pictures of people's cats. We showed pictures of
And
people
this is
wearing
Joe Botnick's cat on hind legs.
Pepper.
Well, we haven't shown that picture because, as far as I know, Joe Botnick has not been able to snap a picture of this supernatural occurrence, but could happen any day.
He's probably busy getting those 6 gold coins, right? Or is that what it
Joe,
was?
you gotta get on that, Joe.
Dominic from PA, what are your thoughts on the show so far? And if you have not, you haven't watched the show?
I haven't seen it tonight because I just got off my work shift, but I assume the show has been going very smoothly.
Very smooth.
I like.
I got a stack of cash. Gonna take the wife out to. Well, normally we would go to.
It's all those Twitch subs, huh?
We'll go to Clifton's, downtown LA.
Oh, I've never been there.
Oh, okay.
It's a nice place, Robbie.
We'll go to Clifton's in downtown LA, and we'll buy the chandelier. Is what they say in the comment.
With those fancy Twitch bits and bytes, huh?
You use the
Well,
money.
it's just
Those
cash.
are all dollars.
You guys have been firing cash at me for the last 2.5 hours.
And I've been scared every time. It was.
Can I come?
To Clifton's?
Mm-hmm.
You got a suit? Dominic from PA.
What kind of food?
Before we
What kind
let
of
you go, we do want to have you stick around with us for one final cat. We do have a final cat to show. It's actually 2 cats and a dog, and it's from Cat from Ithaca. It's the whole family stuck together on the tower.
Ithaca's gorgeous.
The dog at the bottom.
Oh, look at that.
Cat from Ithaca.
I
It's the
love
cats.
that so much.
Ithaca's is gorgeous.
I actually am not currently tuned in because I'm on the phone with you guys.
Okay, it's 2 cats and a dog.
But I assume the animals are very adorable.
All animals
Very
are
cute.
Okay, well, Dominic from PA, before we let you go, I'll ask you one quick question, which is Warframe, true or false?
Ooh.
True on occasion.
Correct.
Thank you for your call, Dominic from
Nice
PA.
work, Dominic.
Stay safe out there. Pennsylvania Turnpike can be mighty. It gets dinged up a lot.
First time chat, Allan.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in some time.
I agree. Stay safe, Robbie, Allan, and Wyatt, and have a good night.
Thanks, Dominic.
Remind me.
We've
The
done
dog
It's
is in
the
cat
Cats. We've done It's the Arts.
The
We've
dog
done
is in
the
the cat
special
chair.
report. We've done everything that we've got. Wyatt, do you have any final thoughts?
I had a blast on EGI too. I learned a lot about strange video games that I didn't. Rising Zan. I had no idea. I didn't know what he was getting up to, and I didn't even know you could combine a samurai and a cowboy.
I guess he's a gunman.
Gunman, yeah, the samurai gunman. Thank you.
Because the Cowboys.
I didn't
were
really
actually,
know you
the-
could.
Because the Cowboys, Allan, were actually farmhands. They worked with the cows.
Well, we think of cow, maybe from a more maybe like
So a gunman.
Red Dead Redemption. Those are cool. Those are cowboy tough guys robbing banks and whatnot. But a lot of cowboys did kind of basic stuff, kind of like what you might do at the end of the epilogue of the Red Dead Redemption game. Maybe just kind of moving hay bales from place to place or building a fence or things. That's what cowboys did.
But every once in a while, some criminal, some crime lord
Right.
of the Old West, of the frontiers,
Right.
would say, "Get me a gunman. Get me that gunman. Get him."
Get
And
him
they would come and they would follow the word. They would get word through the telegraphs and the
They have
letters,
those hats,
and
too.
they would tip their hats to
tip
the
their
crime lord,
hats.
and they say, "We serve you, crime lord," and then they would all commit crimes together, and they would make and they made that period of time so dicey for everybody.
Right. You didn't know who was friend or foe.
You
Really.
didn't know who friend. You walked into a saloon, you kicked the
Money.
wrong chair, and you end up with a bullet in your skull.
Yeah. Or
Different times back then.
Caller, what are your
Someone's here?
thoughts?
Who is that?
This is Nick from Tacoma, Robbie.
Nick from Tacoma,
Hey, Nick.
we've been talking all night. We've been having a great time. You're the final call that we're going to take this evening, so take it away.
I think the show was excellent. You really stepped it up with the quiz tonight. I mean, I was
a 3-question thing, but man, I mean, that you went
was
through the
tricky.
whole alphabet there, and Wyatt killed it. I mean, with that essay,
Thank you.
I was blown away.
Thanks so much.
Quite frankly.
Thank you.
And I mean, the arts, the cats. I mean, the
Allan's
videos, the
special report?
haikus. This was kind of the
My special report.
yeah, out report.
And
I
Alan,
mean,
don't forget, at the
this was
top
up
of the
there.
show,
This was
Alan
the
spent a
news.
good 20 minutes just looking at pornography.
Right. And what about the news? I mean, we were really getting to the bottom of some stuff.
I completely forgot. The pornography segment was great tonight. I really was.
Is that a
great.
usual
the
segment?
article.
Oh.
Man.
Nick from Tacoma, before we let you go, before we end the show for the evening, I want to just ask you, what's making you sad these days?
What's making me sad? I don't know, Robbie. I mean, I'm in a pretty good mood. I mean, I guess it's been kind of rainy.
Do you watch the
That's been
news?
kind of a bummer. Warm up.
It has been a
Follow
bummer
current
4
events,
months.
or-
What was that?
Go ahead, Alan.
I was just wondering if you watch the news or you follow current events.
I mean, I think just the sciatica that I've been having, Alan, has just been feeling the age.
You're sitting weird on your chair.
Well, that's because my back hurts.
Yeah, but I think that might be why your back hurts.
Nick?
Yes.
Is your back hurting?
No, my back's good. I got the good chair right now, man. I'm feeling fine.
Good.
I think that's
Well,
my
you
biggest
know,
issue is I don't know
that's
what kind of
great.
chair he's using.
I gotta say, the adage goes, wherever you go, there you are. But what I'm thinking right now is that Tacoma doesn't sound like the worst place on earth after all.
I'd give it a solid 8.5 out of 10 right now.
It's also named after a car, is it not?
Tacoma.
Yeah, the truck.
Yeah, they named.
The truck actually came first. A lot of people don't know that.
Now, are you being serious? I kind of did it.
You know, I mean,
I don't.
Just roll with it, though.
Right. Yeah. I sort of tried to do a little bit of a gag, and then the gag kind of came back onto me. Really.
And I did. Mozzie Lump in the chat asked if I've been taking pills from the bottom of my bag, and I say yes. That's how I take pills.
There was some car talk earlier as well.